Doing good. How's everyone else doing on this playoff Saturday?
Yeah, well, we thank you everybody for coming up and joining us during this football weekend. But thank you again for joining us. We have a lot to talk about tonight. We got Wrestle Kingdom 13. We have Kenny Omega news. Go over also this coming Raw this Monday night where we'll see Brock Lesnar and Mr. Hulk Hogan himself. But first off, let's get this out of the way. We lost a beloved member of the wrestling community this past week, and that was Gene Okerlund. Gene Okerlund passed away. What day was it? Was it Wednesday or I can't remember. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday of this week, and yeah, we lost him. Whoa, that's a lot of back. I think that's Alex. Alex, you here?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, you are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
How do I sound?
You sound good, man. Finally, we got a good connection over on Alex's end. So go ahead, feel free to say your introduction, my friend. Welcome back.
Well, I know I'm doing the part-time Brock Lesnar, but that doesn't mean you have to do the performance as well. So I wanted to make sure that the first show back in 2019 with you guys is great and running. I know you guys are just talking about the passing of Mean Gene. So, yeah, definitely a sad time in wrestling history.
Yes, definitely. Definitely one of the voices of my childhood growing up from the WWF days to him going to WCW. A lot of major epic history has happened with Mean Gene being somewhat involved in some way, somehow. Dave, your thoughts on Mean Gene before we move on to Wrestle Kingdom and some Kenny Omega news.
I mean, man, what can you not say about Mean Gene? I mean, for me, as everyone knows who follows me on Twitter or follows me on here, that I was a huge WCW fan, and Mean Gene was like the guy in WCW to interview everyone. You know, here comes Ric Flair and Mean Gene, those classic interviews. I mean, everyone will talk about Hogan and Mean Gene. I get that, but to me, Ric Flair and Mean Gene, that was the big interviews every Monday night on Nitro, or even one of the biggest parts of wrestling history with the Hogan heel turn. Gene was right there in the middle of the ring. I mean, how can one forget that?
Yeah, and before we get into Hulk, we'll touch on Raw and WWE a little bit later in the show. So I just wanted to say, rest in peace, Gene Okerlund. Yes, we're going to be doing some Impact predictions. Don't forget, speaking of Impact, we will be live tomorrow night touching on Impact Homecoming. I just ordered it this past week, so Dave and I will be watching that tomorrow night, and we'll be live right after it's over to recap and get you all updated and let you know who won and who lost on tomorrow night's show. So let's jump into Wrestle Kingdom, and then we'll talk about the Kenny Omega news because that's been going a lot. The news has been going rampant about Kenny Omega since Wrestle Kingdom has happened, even a little bit before then. But let's touch on Wrestle Kingdom. We had 10 matches total. I'm not going to say their names because I know I will butcher all of them. So we're going to go with our correspondent for New Japan. We'll go with Alex. Let's go with the matches first. Your opening match. Did you want to touch on the pre-show match?
No. Do we enjoy touching on WWE pre-show matches?
Yeah. Well,
I know, but this is different.
The one thing that I did get out of the pre-show match, and it was a lot of the New Japan fans that they were saying Suzuki should not have belonged on the pre-show. He should have been on the main card. Your thoughts on that, Alex?
Well, yeah, I mean, I know we're going to be throwing out a lot of WWE parallels, but for, everyone in the chat that doesn't watch New Japan the regular, like, you see like your mainstay guys in a company, and Suzuki for at least the last 2 years has kind of been one of those top guys you want to have on your card just because he's so much for people who like New Japan. There are a lot of people huge fans of Suzuki. He's always just a fun, entertaining segment or match to be involved in. I definitely think he's someone that I'm surprised they left off the main card, but obviously nothing in the storyline with everyone else kind of made sense for him to be there. So yeah, it was definitely. This is one of many changes we saw with this Wrestle Kingdom compared to others before. But yeah, hopefully hopefully that this doesn't happen again, because I do think he's too big for a pre-show card.
Now, the other shocker on the pre-show match, and I'm not sure how important these six-man tag team championships are, but it was also the Elite getting taken out pretty early in this match. Hangman Page, Takahashi, and Marty Scurll lose. Your thoughts on that, Alex? Were you shocked to see them eliminated so quickly, or did you kind of figure that they would probably, since they are, looks like, heading out from New Japan, that was going to most likely happen?
Well, this was the beginning of the theme of how the Elite's night went for Wrestle Kingdom. I didn't think they were going to get out so early. I thought it was going to be a little bit of a send-off because it was the first match. So it was one of the questions I had going into Wrestle Kingdom was how are they going to treat, the Elite. AEW is being announced. The commentary was talking about it. But it's clear what the new president thinks of the Elite leaving New Japan.
Yeah, that's right. There you go. Excuse me.
He's like, thanks for the last year, assholes. Enjoy your company.
Bobaruski says the card was fucking stacked, though. Don't think they had a choice to put him on the pre-show. Most likely happened. I guess I can agree with you on that. But that's the one thing that I saw from all the New Japan fans was how dare they put Suzuki on the pre-show. He should be in the main card. Some way, somehow, you should have put him in a match. Just a lot of bickering. What about you, Dave? Any thoughts on that and how quick the Elite were eliminated in this match?
I thought it was funny the way you were. Well, I guess it's to be expected with the Elite because they're all leaving. So, but I thought it was funny when you were tweeting about Suzuki when you're like, "Holy shit!" When he went crazy, that was my favorite part of the whole pre-show. So Don Callis running and then just doing the whole everyone
Suzuki,
runs.
like if you look at him, he doesn't look so intimidating from a distance. But when they get that close view on him, that dude is scary as fuck, dude.
I mean, each year he looks more and more like a ghoul. Like,
yes.
Did you guys ever watch? You ever watch Lord of the Rings?
Yes, I was about to say that. You
ever saw Smeagol was the Hobbit, and then like over time with the ring, he just became like Gollum. That's kind of how Suzuki's been over the years. But it worked.
One of my favorite. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Dave. Finish.
I was just gonna. I was just gonna say really quick that my favorite part with Suzuki's wrestling is when they do those standing strikes with each other, and it always seems like Suzuki's hitting 20 times harder as the other guy because you can like feel Suzuki's hits when he's hitting somebody. It's like,
and it's like I think that's what we all want in like professional wrestlers. We want like a sense of believability, like whatever they're doing, whether their look is contributing to it or what they do in the ring. Like you want to invest. You want to believe that hey, he's an evil, sick bastard, and as long as you could think that every time he comes out, he's doing his job. I mean, the guy's 50, and he still found a way to stay.
All right, Adam Baum, appreciate you stopping by.
And there's nothing wrong with comedy either, and that's why we have the great Yano.
That's true.
Yano is awesome.
Good point on that one. Now, here's my question for you, Dave, and Alex also. You guys are more New Japan guys than I am. I'm kind of new to this, especially people in the chat like Bob Ruski and Red Sox fan. Now, Hangman Page, that dude is unreal. I've never really seen him like show off some of those athletic moves that he did last night, or Friday morning, I should say. But man, that guy is awesome. Now, if he wasn't a part of the Elite with Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks, do you think WWE would try to pursue him?
I don't think as aggressive as they did, obviously. When we saw he even mentioned in an interview earlier this year that WWE threw him an offer. I'd imagine that he would definitely be on their radar before, but it's kind of hard to say because he got so much
NXT.
Yeah, he got so much exposure just from being with the Elite. But yeah, I still think he's talented enough to make that stance. Personally, I think I guess we're going to talk about AEW at some point tonight, but
yes,
I'm just going to spoil it. But I'm going to say I think Hangman's going to get the main push in AEW.
Do you think he'll be the main guy, the title holder of AEW?
Either the main guy or they'll build him up as like the next babyface. I mean, he's young, he's got the look, he has a good look, he's very athletic in the ring, he's gotten over more and more. So I could definitely see him being I could definitely see them being a top guy, and I know Dave knows that because he loves the fact that the Bucks are booking it.
No, I'm not happy with the Bucks booking at all.
We'll get into that, but yeah, I definitely think Hangman Page has a as long as injuries or anything doesn't happen, he's gonna have a very good future.
Hangman's awesome. I mean,
Yeah,
that dude is
that shooting
straight.
star press
blood.
off the ring apron was badass, man.
Oh, he's done that. That it's not really a shooting star press. It's more like a shooting star headbutt.
And then
But-
he does the moonsault. So he's
Yeah,
a good mix of what you want. Like he's not too flippy.
and he's a good character too.
Yeah, he's
Because
not
look
too.
at All In. Look at that
Yeah.
stuff with Joey Ryan he was doing. I mean, that was some good stuff.
And he's not too flippy where you're like, oh god, he's gonna end his career in 2 years.
That's what a lot of criticism was, especially Jim Cornette with the flips and them almost killing themselves. Hangman Page is the guy who looks similar to Emil. Omega should get on ESPN like LeBron did to announce who he signs with. that would be great. Yeah, all right, so let's get to the opening match. The Bucks will book a 5-year back injury to one of their wrestlers like Mac Jackson.
Ongoing back injury.
That's funny.
I thought we were going there. Like when he got that body slam, I'm like, oh crap, here we go again.
Surprisingly, I didn't know how long the actual tag match was, but seeing how long it actually was is kind of shocking. But we'll get to that. So the opening match was Will Ospreay taking on Kota Ibushi. Went 18 minutes. Will Ospreay gets the win. Kota Ibushi gets a concussion. Your thoughts on this match, Alex?
Yeah, I mean, any big wrestling show you want, especially like your marquee of the year, you want a hot opener, and I mean that on card was an easy choice. I mean, it was high pace, which given the two, I was fully expecting that. What I did like, and a lot of people like hated, was that it wasn't so acrobatic, meaning like Kota Ibushi didn't climb the Tokyo Dome and do a moonsault. Ospreay didn't have to do so much that he had to break his neck, take more years off his career. Like it was hard hitting, and it was very physical. I enjoyed it a lot. Yes, there's a bias in me because I'm a big fan of obviously Ibushi, and I think Ospreay, even if you could see he's trying to tone back some of the crazy stuff he does. I still think he's one of the best workers. This was a match I definitely think could have benefited from more time.
Okay.
I'm not complaining with the match I got. I just think that it kind of like right when you just saw things just really, really going up there, they kind of ended it a little early. Especially when we got that the pre-show tag match that almost went half an hour. Like this could have been a match I would have been fine with an extra 10 minutes. If we're being honest, I think the Ibushi concussions will work.
Okay. Thank you, Jody. Appreciate that.
I think if you want to get over the beheader, that's the move that Ospreay does with the elbow to the head. You want to establish him as a heavyweight, and you want Kota Ibushi to be written off New Japan and when he goes to AEW. I mean, come on, like it's too perfect not to time. It gets Ospreay over, establishes him as a heavyweight, puts over a new move, and Ibushi can get written off and go on to AEW. If it's legit, then damn, that sucks. But it definitely looked brutal. And
which movie talking about, Bobrovsky? Be more specific, sir.
But yeah, there was definitely some fun spots. I liked Ibushi when he did the moonsault and Ospreay kicked him across the apron. Obviously the German soup, the springboard German, like with Ospreay landing on his feet, fun.
That was awesome.
Yeah, no, and I think the big takeaway is that Ospreay's moving up to the heavyweights.
Now, were you shocked at the results of Ospreay winning, or you kind of figured Ospreay was going to get that title run?
Like I said, I because we had like AEW being announced in the Elite like the week of pretty much, it kind of changed my prediction card a good amount. Like before we had it, I honestly had Kota retaining, and then they would build a story later in the year for Ospreay to get his victory at Dominion or something. But yeah, I mean, given everything we know, I guess it ended the way I expected, but still, definitely a great way to open up.
Did it? Last question for you, and we'll move on today. Did it live up to your expectations?
It did.
This was a match that everybody was excited about. It. At least that's what I was hearing on Twitter.
I learned to when you get so many matchups in the last year coming up, I've been trying to hold my expectations because it's happened to us. We build it in our heads so much. So sometimes I just said, you know what? I know these two are going to put on something good, so let's see what happens. It didn't. It wasn't. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't call it a match of the year contender, but it was a damn good match.
Okay. What about you, Dave? Your thoughts?
Yeah, I enjoyed this match myself. I mean, I thought it was a fun match. The spots. I mean, that elbow. Oh my god, that looked like he freaking just killed him. I'm like,
well, that's the
wow.
point. You got some-
I know, but and I like what Ospreay said. He's like, people wanted me to start changing my style, so the only way I can change my style to wrestle longer is by injuring everyone else or taking everyone else out. So, man, that was awesome. And yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying I like that. I mean, that like because like as a heavyweight now, Ospreay doesn't have to, and like you said, with the injuries he's had, he doesn't have to always have to flip around. We know he can flippy do. We know what he can do in that ring, and when he times it more, then it's like really special. But then like you're like, oh shit, he didn't flip. He just elbowed the shit out of Kota's skull. Like
yeah, I mean that was crazy. That move right there was nuts. I love, like you mentioned earlier, that moonsault or that German suplex where he lands on his feet and Kota doesn't know he's just sitting there like, oh, I just did this cool move, and then it's just like, man, that was just like a perfect. I don't know. This match was fun, but
yeah,
expectation wise, I was expecting this to be a 45, 50-minute match just because of what we've seen in the past.
This was I thought this was one of the matches that was going to go over 20 minutes, and I personally think it should have, but yeah.
All right, it was still a fun match, and I was surprised that he lost because I figured he'd win. But hey, it was a trend. It was a big trend.
Definitely was a trend. Is Ibushi expected to go all elite? I haven't heard any rumors about him going to all elite.
Well, here's a question for Alex. If Kenny does go to where no one wants him to go, any way Kota Ibushi would follow?
No way.
I don't know with Omega. If Omega's involved, I wouldn't rule it out. I mean, Kota can't commit for shit. I guess so. He can't commit to signing with a wrestling company. He can't commit to his boyfriend. Like Kota just does not commit to anything. So I think though, if Kenny,
did you say boyfriend?
Oh, come on. It's not subtle, the storyline they're playing.
Golden Lovers?
It's not.
At least it's not called Golden Showers.
I've seen 5 articles about LGBT and WWE in wrestling, and then Kenny Omega and Kota are in tights hugging each other. Well,
they're making out on TV, too. So.
Yeah, let's not pretend they're being subtle about this, and that's fine. But what I'm saying is, I think if Kenny was involved, I think it would be more likely to see Kota, but I think as of right now, they're both going to AEW.
Okay, all right. Next match, we had Bushi Shingo, and I'm not even going to say. Go ahead and say these names, Alex. Go, take over, Alex. We had the 3-way tag team match for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles.
So you had oh my god. You had Roppongi 3K versus like LIJ, which was like the new member Shingo, who's from Dragon Gate, and Bushi, and then you had them facing against Suzuki-gun with Desperado and Kanemaru. So it's the tag team division. Personally, we'll talk about it later. I hate how the heavyweight is because it's the same 3 tag teams.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar, guys. Don't tell the New Japan fans that, they'll never admit it. But the junior tag team, it's a little more exciting. I don't know how much you guys know about Shingo, but that man is not a fucking junior heavyweight. Like, what the hell? Like, you see him.
How you feeling about him? Are you really high on him?
Oh, I think he's awesome. I've only watched a few highlights of Dragon Gate, but he was essentially their top heel in Dragon Gate. He was kind of like, he had the Nakamura vibe to him, that New Japan, like the cool, like he had like the unique look, just like the bat. He turned it up in the ring and had that badass feel to him. For Street Fighter fans, he gives a lot of, he likes to like play around as like Akuma and stuff. So him coming to New Japan, I don't think he's going to be a junior heavyweight long, let alone just another member of Lij, something that Red Sox fan and I have talked about. But yeah, he's I think he's exciting to watch, and he's definitely not long for the junior heavyweight.
Let's go to the chat real quick before I move on. Sure, more cities for Coda to get lost in the airport. Dave, they literally have a move called the Golden Shower.
Yep.
AEW is a dirt sheets wet dream. Everyone's going to be rumored to be heading there. Yep, that's true. The junior tag didn't even deserve a fucking triple threat, though. I can't comment on that. Yeah, true, but they constantly put good matches on, not like the other company, says Red Sox fan. Now, this match went 6 minutes and 51 seconds. Is that shocking, or did these matches go a little bit longer with the heavyweight tag teams?
This was pretty short, yeah, and I'm honestly okay with it because, like, I think Babaruski just said it. I've seen these three mix it up for the last 4 months many times, and I try to be consistent with my bashing in wrestling. If I see the same thing after a while, you can have good match qualities, but if there's not that component of, wow, you have this versus this, or hey, this is like you got these two big tag teams like going at it for the first time, then I'm just like, okay.
All right, Dave, your thoughts.
See, I thought this. I'm sure you guys did too. But I actually was starting to get into this match. Maybe it was Matt getting his back hurt again. Maybe it was good guy Tama because
wrong match, heavyweight, junior heavyweight.
Oh, wrong match. My bad, wrong one. Okay, sorry, that was sorry. Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it went a little too quickly though, but hey.
Oh, and I don't know how much of New Japan you guys, well, Tony, you'll be following for the rest of the year. But Red Sox and I are just predicting Shingo is going to take over Lij by Dominion.
And who's the current leader of that right now?
Naito.
Okay.
So, and I think we're calling it Wrestle Kingdom is going to be Naito versus Shingo for the Battle of the Leadership.
Ooh, okay. All right. Next was the match that a lot of people were talking about as well. We had Zack Sabre Jr. taking on tomorrow. How do you say it? Tomorrow.
Ishii.
Okay, there you go. Thank you very much for the British heavyweight champion. A lot of people were talking shit about the ref. That the referee wasn't that great in the ring. The commentator wasn't there a Rev Pro commentator on the mic? So they were kind of talking about that as well. Sabre gets the win. I thought the match was still pretty good. Your thoughts on this, Dave?
I loved it. This is one of my favorite matches because I could watch Zack Sabre wrestle all night because I just love his style. The way he can hit a submission on anybody, anywhere. I mean, it really is Zack Sabre time now because he's your new champ. What is it, Rev Pro?
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, the match is fun. I was surprised he won, though, because and everyone, people were complaining online, too, about this. I noticed that. Oh, why is he trying to strike? I mean,
that's
why is
my
he doing
resolution, Babaruski.
This is just, I was like, whatever. But, yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought this was a really fun match. I was surprised how it ended, though. But, yeah, this was another fairly quick match as well, too. Because I think Zack Sabre and Ibushi, they went like 25 minutes, and it's like, I know it is. He was against someone that he didn't know that long too, but still, it is what it is. But I enjoyed it, and I thought it was a good match. It's not really talked about on the card, but I still thought it was really good.
Silverback says Shane O'Mac is going to be the leader of LIJ by Tuesday.
It'll be Vince.
They would have to have Tony has a real deal translator. Yeah, I got to learn these Japanese names if I'm going to be touching on New Japan.
They'll just be like, "It was me, Naito."
Imagine that. That would be. All right. What about you, Alex? What'd you think of this match?
Yeah, I agree with Dave. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I could watch. I agree. I could watch Zack Sabre Jr. just own people in the ring, which is how easy he puts on a submission. I mean, the more and more I see him, the more and more I wish I could see vegan Daniel Bryan versus ZSJ. It is a battle of vegans just hitting each other with submissions and then shitting on the crowd together at the end of the match about how they're destroying the environment. But no.
That would be great.
ZSJ is definitely. I mean, when you think of like best technical guys today, like I can't think of one better than him. Even
I can't either.
Just in terms of the work quality, how he's putting out.
You know what I found funny during the commentary? Oh, Zack Sabre Jr. hasn't been injured. Like, no shit, he doesn't do it. He doesn't do nothing to get
But
injured.
that's part of his gimmick, right? He works smart.
Yeah.
Like when he was facing Kota in New Japan, they're like, he's like, you want to know what my strategy is? If he climbs up on a balcony and does a moonsault, I move. That's it. Like he's that type of heel, which I love. And yeah, I mean, Ishii, I think honestly is one of the best workers in the world, and he had some great damn matches in G1. Like I said, Tony, timing wise, if it was up to me, I would have preferred if like Kota and Osprey got like over 20 minutes, and then that this match got like the 18 minutes that Kota and Osprey had. Because this is definitely a match. It was fun, but definitely kind of ended like abruptly. Like
Right.
Like yeah,
a lot of the matches did during Wrestle Kingdom, in my opinion, kind of just ended oddly, like out of nowhere, kind of thing.
Yeah, like the buildup was good. I mean, Zach worked the shit out of Ishii, and like when you saw like some of the hits, you're like, oh my god. And then like when he finally hit that last submission, then I was like, oh, that's it. Like that was when I felt the tension was building up. I'm like, all right, come on, now we're picking it up. And then it just ended. But hey, I mean, good for Zach. I think he's definitely, as we're talking about the Elite leaving, obviously the question that comes is who's going to take up the spots, who's going to start moving up. And ZSJ is definitely someone I think is going to have a bigger 2019.
Speeds in the chat said, cool clash of styles in this one. I dig Zack Sabre a lot. Excuse me. Bob Ruski puts, I think we're going to see Pac versus Zack Sabre Jr. this month. Oh, my God. Ishii consistently just puts up great matches year after year, says Red Sox fan. Speeds puts, Zack Sabre Jr. is severely underrated promo as well. His shit is hilarious. And then we have Silver Black putting in his comedic efforts and putting up, but what's up with Zack Sabre's mini floppy titties? If someone's climbing a balcony to moonsault on you, just move. What's wrong with these? Yeah.
That's true.
I was like, my favorite part about Zack Sabre Jr. is Taka, because it's Zack Sabre. I love that.
Taka adds a nice addition, especially for the Japanese crowd. I like that he's using.
For me, I don't care. I love Taka out there. He's just great. Taka is great.
So the fifth match of the night was for the three-way tag team titles, and I thought this match was going to go over 20 minutes. This match went 10 minutes. With the type of talent they had in that ring, I was surprised it only went 10 minutes. Sonata and Evil took on the Gorillas of Destiny, Tonga and is it Loa, correct?
Tonga Loa, yeah. Tama Tonga and Tama Loa.
And then we had the Young Bucks as well. Sonata and Evil get the win. 10 minutes and 16 seconds this match was. Sonata, to me, is another guy that should be on his own and push to the – and this guy is unreal. But they are the current three-way tag team champions. I'm sorry, the IWGP tag team champions. Yeah. Your thoughts on this match, Alex, and were you shocked to see that it only went 10 minutes?
Yeah, definitely with the Bucks. I thought that, like, we talked about how Marty and Adam Page got limited time, but with the Bucks, like, I was really surprised. I thought they were going to at least get a good, decent, 15, 20 minutes. I agree. I think I honestly think Sonata's still being held back. Like, he's kind of just there. Like, he's in a tag team, and I'm not saying Evil's not like good, but between the two, I mean, Sonata's gonna be the bigger star. Like, you could just see from the look. You could just see from how he did against when he got his big singles match versus when Evil got his. Like, I think he's been held back as a tag team. I really do hope that it kind of I was kind of annoyed that they won the titles because I really just want Sonata to go out on his own. But yeah, I mean, it was fast paced. It had some fun spots. I mean, when they were going for the Meltzer driver and Tama Tonga hit the RKO. Yeah, I'm calling it the RKO. I can't associate anything as a cutter. I just, as a childhood WWE fan, I just call everything the RKO. But yeah, no, there were some fun spots, but yeah, another match that kind of fell off, like, just because of the time, just because it was just so abrupt, and you're like, okay, well, Harold Meiji is clearly sticking a big finger to AEW right now.
Yeah, and apparently they want to try to have a working relationship. That's going to be interesting to see how that works. Red Sox fan says Sonata needs to cut that fucking beard.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing over there.
Red Sox fan says Sonata is still very young. Eventually, he will get pushed. Yep, Sonata needs to be pushed in the never division, says Adam Bomb. Silver Black says Sonata looks scares my dog. Hope that chaos gets ruined by addition of the. What the hell? Silver Black is just on a roll tonight. What about you, Dave? What did you think of this match? And it only going 10 minutes long.
I was going to go a hell of a lot longer than 10 minutes. I mean, you had the Bucks out there. I mean, you had the good guy Tongan.
What's up, England?
They're good guys now. So, and even I love the part where I think it's one of the Jackson has someone in like a Boston Crab, and then he grabs. No, don't get involved. No, just that's funny. Those guys are good. Yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes, but yeah. But I was shocked. I guess LIJ Knight. It really is.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I was getting into the match. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
All right.
Oh, you're echoing a little bit.
Yeah, I know. So are you guys?
I think it's on Alex.
Alex's end.
Wait, you guys are getting an echo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do I sound echoey?
No, you're good.
No. Okay.
I don't know why it's echoing pretty bad.
It's really bad.
No, I don't hear an echo.
Drop back out, Alex.
Alex, and come back in.
All right. I was gonna move on to the next match, but now.
Okay, real quick. I guess I
Go
can
ahead.
wait. But yeah, the match. I guess that's it. The match was good, but I was shocked how quick it ended.
Yes, Bobaruski, we're going to be touching that as well. They're going to work together in some capacity, says Red Sox fan.
Yeah, it's crazy because I was just getting into the match too, and then all of a sudden it's over.
Yeah, that match kind of ended abruptly as well. Alex, you back?
Yep.
All right, no echo this time. Good. All right,
Awesome.
So let's go with the next match on the card. Oh, damn it, I dropped it. Which was the match that I thought was the most disappointing match of the night, but I got to give Cody some credit for going out there injured. I didn't know he was injured coming into this match, but it was Cody taking on Juice Robinson for the United States Championship. Juice Robinson defeats Cody, but the match only went 9 minutes, and it just kind of ended oddly. It's kind of out of nowhere, and I didn't really think the match was that great either. Alex, what did you think?
Oh, it sucked. It was definitely the low point of it. And yes, I know Cody's been dealing with a knee issue, but I'm not going to defend him. He's not Cody. This is Cody. He's a hit or miss, honestly. He likes to do a lot of smoke and mirrors, which that's a throwback to a lot of the guys who they're like a lot of the throwbacks that like to use the smoke and mirrors for their in-ring antics, but for me, honestly, it just takes away from the match. Like his match with Jay Lethal at Ring of Honor, all these matches. He has a couple good ones, but most of them have just kind of been or just too much smoke and mirrors for my liking. It was definitely the low point, but I will obviously I'm taking into account he needs knee surgery because I heard his knee's really shot from the last reports I've read. But I mean, hey, Juice, as long as it got Juice's title, and I do think he's definitely going to be another one that that's good. That I don't see him leaving New Japan to go to AEW. I think he's going to try and stay in New Japan because he's over in Japan. I mean, he could be a top guy. So whatever starts building back Juice, I'm all for it.
I see a lot of Brandy comments in the chat. Speed says Brandy Rose straight up sucks. She got zero reaction when she got kicked out. And then the Reverend put it was a bad match. Brandy interference was too forced, even though she is super fine. I kind of agree. Am I the only one on this show that thinks Brandy Rhodes is just fucking annoying?
No, I don't really care for her.
I don't mind looking at her.
Yeah, she's gorgeous, but in terms of what she contributes to a match, no, I don't really care. She's no different than any other manager. She's nothing special.
Papa Rooster put, let's hope the U.S. title lasts longer than one defense. Alex, straight from Cody, he shouldn't have been walking on it. Then why the fuck was he even in the match?
And got the title.
I get it. I don't know. He shouldn't have been wrestling that night if it was that bad. What about you, Dave? What did you think of this match?
Yeah, it was definitely not one of the better matches, and it did. They don't really seem like, I think other people have said, even Alex, they don't really seem to have chemistry together. Unlike last year when it was Cody versus Ibushi, and that match is awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's hit or miss. Cody's had a lot going on too.
Yeah, do you think his mind's even set on wrestling right now?
Yeah, he got so much shit going on. So it's like,
honestly, to me, Cody's one of those guys like you know, in a movie actor, he's a decent actor, but he ends up being a better director. That's kind of how I see Cody. He's a decent.
So he's Ron Howard.
Adam Bomb is such an asshole. He put you like the Street Profits, so we'll take your word with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I think
so. Cody,
he's a decent guy. I think he's a decent in-ring guy, but I think he's a genius for the wrestling business. Like, there's no question he has a mind for the wrestling business. He grew up in it, and his dad was a dream, so he learned from the best. So I think what he's doing for the wrestling world is amazing. As I think he'll be one of those guys who, in terms of a booker, an agent, a producer, he's going to do amazing things. But as an in-ring wrestler, meh.
Damn. Yeah, I think someone Theory put in the chat room that what did he put? I think he put Juice is better for sure in ring talent, but he says something about basically Cody Rhodes sucks in the ring, basically.
Hey, look, you don't. He doesn't have, but he doesn't need to be all amazing in the ring. Like, look how he's contributing to the wrestling world now, booking All Elite, wrestling All In, like starting to make some stride, make these deals with the Jaguar owner, like all these little things. So he's doing great things.
Jags colors and all that.
Yeah. Hey, Bobruski, good point there. Dustin has the wrestling while Cody has the brains. Absolutely, I would agree with you on that.
You know what I think it is too, though. It's today's wrestling fan. They're not. They don't. Cody to me works a good wrestling style that you were used to seeing in the '90s, maybe, and even in the '80s. He works that old school style. I think. I don't think Cody's a terrible wrestler. I just think people are so used to everyone doing all these high spots now, and that's what they expect.
I don't know.
I don't get me wrong. I appreciate different, but sometimes I don't think different's always a good thing. Like I said, for me personally, I think too much smoke and mirrors to a match. I'm not a big fan of. And this is not the only match, so I can't just let the knee injury get him off the hook.
So the next match was a junior heavyweight championship match. I already know I'm going to butcher this guy's name. Not Ishimori. Is it? Go ahead, Alex. Yes.
Yep.
Now I know Ishimori's your boy, Bizarre One. He gets the win. Wins the junior heavyweight championship.
Wait a minute. No, you're missing some big parts right here.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck was that?
Oh,
that was the creepiest. Like someone wrote on Twitter, this is the creepiest and coolest thing ever. And I was like, no, this is just the creepiest thing ever.
That mask was fucking insane. Whoever made that, props to them for making it.
Oh, my Japanese.
Was it Smoke and Mirrors, his theme song? Yes, that's very true.
Yeah, it was.
Their California match was really good, I thought.
Speaking of Smoke and Mirrors, though, you had this right here. I mean, holy crap. It was funny, but I was like, what is Ishimori's like, what the fuck is going on here? I mean, he was just like all over. And it's funny, he comes out Bullet Club member and the Bone Soldier when there's like no Bullet Club.
Yeah, and this match went 11 minutes. Ishimori gets the win and wins the title. Your thoughts, Dave? Because I know you're a big Ishimori guy.
I was happy. I was good to see. I guess I should have been surprised he won, but I thought it was a good match for the time they got. I thought some people said it was a little floppy. Maybe it was, but I still enjoyed it. I was actually surprised he won.
Yeah, Don Douglas saying he just blew up that kid was amazing. Yeah.
that was one of the most memorable parts of the night right there.
Was that him playing some fucking mind games, or does that usually happen when he comes out to the ring?
Well, it didn't work if it
was. What about you, Alex? What did you think of the match?
Well, I guess Kushida's using that gimmick when he goes to the WWE. I could see Vince.
Oh, that's Bob Ruski just mentioned that in the chat room that's saying that he's rumored to be leaving. Is that true?
Yeah, that I last time I heard Kushida's actually going to the WWE, which
Kushida. Okay.
oh god.
Red Sox fan says he's going to AEW.
I guess he's not talking to Tozawa or Hideo
or Nakamura.
Yeah, no, I think he watched the WrestleMania match. He didn't need to talk to him. No, I mean, it was a good match. I'm a big fan of Kushida. I think he's one of the most consistent in-ring performers. And before you had Will Ospreay, you had Marty Scurll, you had all these junior heavyweights coming in. Kushida was kind of there, like being the consistent forerunner. He's faced everyone from Ricochet to Ospreay to Takahashi. Like he's been with him and all, and like he's had some great matches. This was a good match. It was short, and yeah, there was a little bit of sloppy spots, but I'm glad Ishimori got the title. I mean, and with Kushida on his way out, it was he got his Wrestle Kingdom match defending the title. He's really made special.
It's crazy to me because really quick, it's crazy because like this whole card was like everyone who won or stayed in Japan, everyone who lost is leaving. It's like that's what it kind of seemed like. It's just like one of those, like really strange things.
His entry was creepy with that. Yes. Now Kushida, top 5 technical wrestlers in the world, says Red Sox fan. Now here's my question, and we'll go with Alex mainly because he knows more. He's been following New Japan longer than Dave and I have. Did this card kind of seem predictable to you?
Like I said, it's really just because of the all elite card. I mean, the rumors and everything that kind of took away from it for me because your big matches like between the main event, one of them being with Ospreay and Ibushi. From there, that kind of took away. Kushida, I think I've known about since October that he was on his way out from New Japan, so that kind of gave it away. So I do think this was a card that the dirt sheets really kind of casted a shadow over it. By no means did it made me say, oh, this show was whatever. I still enjoyed the show very much, but definitely casted a little bit of shadow over it.
Do you think maybe Rhodes and them should have maybe did the announcement after Wrestle Kingdom?
I mean,
it probably wouldn't have mattered.
Hard, yeah, but I mean, hey, they had big news. It was New Year's. It's the perfect time for them. I mean, they got their business running. I can't blame them for the timing.
Do you think maybe New Japan was a little bit salty with that announcement before Wrestle Kingdom?
I think based on how the matches ended, I think there's a little bit of salt.
Let's see. Let's go up. WWE going after Japan talent just shows how worried they are and how bad they don't want MSG to be good. I got to agree with you on that. The titles were on the wrong people at the wrong time, just bad timing, but they gave us good matches. Can't complain, says Red Sox fan. Hey, Tony, random question, but remember when everyone was laughing at the idea of Jericho showing up at All In? Yeah, very true.
And he did.
And now we're talking about when is Jericho going to sign up with AEW?
Yeah, we'll get into that in just a few minutes. We have 3 more matches to touch on, and Jericho is one of them. Jay White took on Okada in a singles match, went 14 minutes. The big news out of this match is Okada going back to the old attire, but also Jay White picking up the victory. A lot of people are saying that Jay White is starting to transition into the Kenny Omega role of New Japan. We'll go with you first, Dave. What did you think of the match? And do you think Jay White could be the next, I guess, Kenny Omega of New Japan?
What I think is this makes me think now. So Okada's leaving too?
He's never leaving.
I'm just saying that's where before I get to Jay White, this match to me was pretty fun too because you got to see the biggest part of the match. I think was you got to see Okada get his hands on Gato, and that was the best.
Yeah,
part. I mean, when he flew, he's just throwing around like a rag doll, and then when he flew over the railing and dove on both of them, that was just like wow, that was pretty fun. But yeah, the match was fun. I was surprised how short it was though.
Yeah,
because this was like 15 minutes long.
I mean, a little bit under 15 minutes.
Yeah, did Okada even break a sweat? I mean, because he used to go with 30, 40, 50 minutes in a match. I mean, this was nothing.
His Rainmaker until like 25 minutes into the match. So yeah,
hour 30 or 4 like last year. Him and Naito. I mean, that match is like 35 minutes, if not longer.
Okada lost because he went for the Rainmaker too early. He knows 20 minutes. That's when you go. The other person's like, I'm fucking
right.
The other wrestler's like, I'm too damn tired. I'm not used to this shit. And Okada's like, I'm ready for this shit.
No,
it's not. Yeah, I mean, we're not seeing Okada drenched in his own sweat after a match, and it's like, did that even happen?
Now, do you think Jay White can be the next Kenny Omega of New Japan?
Ooh, I don't know. That's tough to say. He's gonna have to go out there and put on some phenomenal matches. I mean, it's like, say, can you be the next Okada? I mean, I don't know.
Like, Tony, what do you mean, like, in terms of like the match qualities Kenny Omega puts out, or just the star power?
Star power.
I think he's going to be a top heel for a while. I think with Omega, he went in as a heel with the first Okada match, and then by then, the Elite started picking up, so he became more like a more of a face style. But I think Jay White's definitely a top heel, and probably the top heel.
Okay, all right. What did you think of the match itself, though, Alex?
It was good. The crowd was really into it. I think the big stories here was that you saw how much the crowd popped when Okada brought back the Rainmaker. It wasn't that distorted like music that he's been doing. You saw he bleached his hair again. Like he was full Rainmaker mode, and the crowd loved it. And Jay White. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to ask you something because I've been hearing I've been hearing this too. That could Okada be going after the IC title now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's gonna have his road back to redemption the same way Tanahashi had his. So in the meanwhile, why not? I mean, the IC title is treated still like a big deal in New Japan. That's one thing they still have down pretty well. Like that title does. You could have that, and you wouldn't consider that person like low at the bottom. I get it. The IWGP champion is the champion, but we've seen in the past Nakamura's best time in New Japan was as IC champion. So, yeah.
Are they happy? Do you think they're happy with keeping the U.S. title on an American, or would they go with say Okada wins the U.S. title?
I feel like I don't know. That's a really good question. I feel like the heels who win the IWGP U.S. champions kind of be like how it is in WWE. The non-U.S. champions win. And laugh at everything. So I guess that's any Japanese wrestler.
But I think he could really put some, because nothing against Kenny Omega or the guys who've had it since then, but Okada could really add some really good star power to it that it needs.
Like be the Iron Man.
Reverend says White versus Tanahashi. It's going to happen. Is it Tachi versus Naito? That's what someone's putting in the chat. That
versus Naito. This is based off the post Wrestle Kingdom show, New Japan. Right. But yeah, it was a good match. I think the other big story is that Jay White really needed a match like this because his match with Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom last year, he just re-debuted as Switchblade. The crowd the crowd really didn't buy into him, and a lot of people didn't either because they just brought him back in with this gimmick. They just shot him to the top, and nobody really got into it. So it was an underwhelming match last year, but I think full year later, Jay White has a lot of people you see on Twitter. They're really starting to feel Jay White. He's really coming. He's embraced, not even embraced the gimmick. He's become Switchblade. Is
this like a new club then with the Switchblade Club or whatever?
No, Tonga straight up called him the leader of Bullet Club.
Yeah, he said he's going to be the leader of the Bullet Club, and he's going to win the championship. That's what he predicted. That's what he said. And he during I think
is Chaos done?
I think Chaos will rebuild, but I think Chaos will rebuild to fight against Bullet Club Wolfpack. But yeah.
Yes, I did.
I mean, because it's weird because you got Rocky over here with somebody else, and then you got it's all over the place. But
yeah, I think Jay White will still be run as a heel while he's controlling Bullet Club Wolfpack. And
it sucks, man. An asshole, man.
It's gotten to that point. That's any stable. But I think both guys look good. I like you guys said, when Gato finally got his comeuppance, like the crowd was so into that. Like it was a nice, good face heel dynamic. So yeah, fun match.
So, can the Bullet Club survive this though? I mean, because I'm nothing against the guys they have there right now, but it's like they really lost their entire star power.
Well, I called it
nothing against the guys they have.
That's why I called it Wolfpack. I mean, they're still going to be there, but obviously,
yeah, but the Wolfpack still had Kevin Nash in them. We're talking about NWO Hollywood.
I like
they just had
after the finger poke.
You had Stevie Ray.
Just became Diesel, Kevin Nash. But no,
but,
I think
Stevie Ray.
I think they peaked already. I think I think they peaked when AJ Styles was leader of the Bullet Club. They plateaued when Kenny Omega came on as leader. And then once the Elite started going on, you started to see this little OGBC, new Elite Wars and stuff like that. I think we're going to see the Bullet Club still prominent, but not at the level that we've seen with AJ Styles or Kenny Omega.
In the chat room, Red Sox Fan says Bullet Club is dead. I mean, the man single-handedly killed Chaos from the inside, says Bobaruski.
Yeah.
Top Hill versus Top Face. It has to happen, says Reverend. Sonata should win U.S. title, says Theory in the chat room. Also,
I definitely think Sonata should definitely get some singles belt.
Bobaruski says Bullet Club is fine. Hey, what's up, Peckinrod? How you doing tonight, dude? Yes, I did a long time ago, and I've fully regret it many times already. I said on the show that I am sorry for comparing Jay White to Baron Corbin. Can we get over it already, folks? Jesus. Golly, every single night I come in here and we talk Jay White when we talk about him, and they have to mention me comparing him to goddamn Baron Corbin. God damn it.
Hey, you know what? Let's give him credit, though. I mean, at least for me personally. Because last year was really the first thing I really seen Jay White and Tanahashi. That was the first time I've ever seen him. And I thought he was going to win that title last year. And I was just like, wow. And the match was so good. And then you go to like the other matches on the card that draw us in. So that's what you get when you get like a Jericho to draw people into New Japan to start watching it. You start seeing all these other guys who are so good.
Let's see. Reverend put Bullet Club will still be big in New Japan, but not as global. That's a good point. All right, so let's go to the co-main event of the night, which was Naito taking on Chris Jericho for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. This match went 22 minutes long. It was the longest match of the card until the main event, of course. Your thoughts on this match, Alex, with Naito defeating Chris Jericho? Is this the last we see of Jericho in New Japan? Or do you think we're going to be seeing him in a different company? And what did you think of the match?
Well, Chris Jericho committed murder. Man, that DDT was fucking brutal. No, it was. This was a fun match because that's what I love about Jericho, and it's hard to not consider him a GOAT. You know, when Jericho's involved, it just brings a different feel to what you're going to get from a match featuring him. You know. It's just different than any of the other matches. Yes, the fact that it's a no DQ disqualification, but like just the grittiness, like the stiff feel that it has, like Jericho just being a non-PG, like not giving a shit type of heel. Like he was like the crowd was just so into it. And it was just you were so entertained, and like that's the big thing about Jericho. I mean, he's still obviously he can still go in the ring, but he's not how he was like 20 years ago, but he doesn't need to be. And that's why he's so damn good, because he knows how to work a style with what he can do. He knows how to play his strengths, and he does it extremely well. And I personally thought that this was better than his match with Omega.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think the way that it was set up and the way it was laid out, it was just more entertaining. Definitely some brutal spots, and I mean they took a beating. Like I saw the pictures Chris Jericho posted on Instagram after he lost a patch of hair.
Yeah,
he's got like marks all over his back and everything. And I personally like I like the Clockhouse Orange look that he goes for and stuff. And Jericho is the type of guy, like when you think about his New Japan record, he's lost most of his matches, but the way he books himself, like the way he writes, like he portrays himself, like you can bring Jericho back as many times, and I don't think people would ever get tired of it, or they would ever like lose believability. You know what I mean? So definitely a fun match. I mean, Naito got his title back, so that told the story. But yeah, I do think Jericho's definitely coming back. I mean, I know he challenged Tanahashi, so that match is going to happen. But personally, I want to see him versus Okada.
Red Sox fan in the chat puts 47-year-old Jericho puts up better matches than the top WWE guys. It's kind of hard to disagree with that. He puts on a show every time he's in that ring. In the last couple of
he knows how to work. Like you guys said, he's 47, but he knows what he can and can't do and how to time his spots. Like that's something a veteran knows. Like how to get the crowd to care in the moments that count without losing them.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that.
Do rest holds like like others will try to like tell you, but he will make you care about what he's doing, and that's what a sports entertainer should do.
Absolutely agree with you. Let's go to the chat one more time. Red Sox fan said he's putting people over. He loses the battle but wins the war, says Reverend. Let's see.
Like Bobby Lashley does? Come on.
Then we get Jericho versus Okada finally. Jericho said he wants the title match against Tanahashi. Naito eats a pile driver on the ramp. Match goes another 15 minutes. Yeah.
They literally start off with a pile driver outside and a spike DDT, and then there's still 20 minutes, and I'm like, yep, that's it. That's murder.
Jericho versus Suzuki, combined age 100. Jesus Lord. Imagine that match, Suzuki versus Jericho. What about you, Dave? What'd you think of the match? And Naito defeating Chris Jericho.
I thought it was really good like everyone else, and I was surprised. Like, this was like the longest match so far. I'm like, wow. Yeah. But, it was a really good match. I thought it was – when he took that DDT, I'm like, uh-oh. Or that DDT, but the pile driver on the outside, I'm like, crap, I hope Jericho's okay after that. But it looked stiff. Not as stiff as that DDT, but it still looked pretty stiff. That
DDT was insane, man.
They were saying there was a hole in the table and stuff. But, I mean,
Don Callis was like jizzing the whole match because of Jericho.
Yeah. Yeah. Jericho's the best. He's the greatest.
Callis and his jizziness. He jizzes over everything, man. When it comes to Jericho.
And I just laugh when he was like, "From the tough streets of Winnipeg." I'm like, I'm sorry. But you cannot put tough streets and Canada together. I'm sorry.
And these two matches back to back were just Don Callis jizzing over both matches because I was just like, oh great.
Two Winnipeg's main event.
I mean, it was just great. But this match, I think this is why, and I agree with Alex, this is better than him and Kenny Omega because this match, and it's why it's no DQ, because that's what Jericho's limitations are. He can't really go out there and put on one of those 7 stars matches.
7-star matches.
Like someone else likes to get everyone 7-star matches. So, I mean, but yeah, was it the best match in the world? No, but it was still a really fun match to enjoy because people are watching to see Chris Jericho, what he's going to do. And obviously, after we've all seen the video by now, I'm sure, where Jericho has said that he was not done with New Japan. He wants the IWGP title. And, I mean, I want to see that match. Tanahashi versus Chris Jericho.
Yep.
I mean, 2 legends in wrestling. I mean, right there. I mean, whether you want to compare it or not, say where you rank Chris Jericho or not on your list of legends. When you go from American, but Canadian or U.S. type legend, we consider him in the States, compared to Tanahashi in Japan, that's like worlds colliding right there. WE's best versus New Japan's best. I mean, man, that writes itself right there.
Will AEW automatically be USA's number 2 promotion? It's a good question. It's going to be definitely up there. Yeah, I would have to
Are you
say,
sure Pursuit Channel won't make Impact number 2?
Oh, my God. Jesus. We'll get to Impact here in a few minutes. Let's get to the main event, which was Tanahashi taking on Kenny Omega. This match went a little bit under 40 minutes.
By like a minute.
With the Tanahashi defeating Kenny Omega. So now the rumors and speculations are running wild. Where is Kenny Omega going to go? AEW, WWE? I guess we'll have to find out at the end of the month. But Alex, what did you think of this match itself and Tanahashi finally getting the title back?
Woo. Yeah, 40 minutes. I think this is the longest.
Yeah, they said it was the longest match.
Yeah. But oh my god, it was a great match. It did not disappoint by no means. I mean, Tony, I know you haven't seen much of Tanahashi, but like we said, he's just one of those like old school babyface performers. Like he builds up a match little by little, and then when he really picks it up, he picks it up, man. I mean, the crowd was just going nuts. This is the type of match you want for a main event. From there, I mean, Omega played obviously a bit of the heel role in it, but Tanahashi played that ferocious, like a veteran, not willing to go down. You saw that when you faced Kota Ibushi in the G1 finals, and yeah, these two told a great story, and you could just see that it gave that story that they hated each other, what they stood for. Like Kenny's the brash young champion, and Tanahashi's that grizzled old veteran who doesn't want to stay down. And yeah, I mean, for people who've been following New Japan, I mean, before New Japan really started blowing up with the Bullet Club and all these like storylines, like New Japan was kind of in the dark days, and Tanahashi was their guy, aka the Ace, you know, from the Three Musketeers, which was him, Nakamura, and Shibata. Nakamura was still like kind of young, coming up in his career. And essentially, Shibata had his own storyline, but Tanahashi was the guy. And then when Nakamura left the WWE and Shibata had to retire from an injury, you know, he's kind of just been that mainstay's top star. And you know, since Wrestle Kingdom, Wrestle Kingdom 10, 3 years, he has never gotten back to that top spot. So this was like a road of redemption for him. So it was a nice story. It was a feel-good moment. It's kind of like that type of Wrestle King, like what you kind of want, like that feel-good moment to close the show. But yes, unfortunately, I did have him winning this because I definitely think Omega was not staying for long. Just because even so much that like during his title reign, like a lot of his title reign was spent doing the elite stuff, like overseas stuff, which is fine. I mean, that's why he's helping with global expansion, but in terms of it, you know, it's clear where his mind was. He wanted to expand more. He had the title at the time, but you could just see that he didn't want to stay in the company. If like with all this other stuff taking off,
right? Why do you think Kenny wasn't seen at New Year's Dash? Well, Johnny Wrestling, we're going to get to that in just a few minutes. New Japan definitely was in the dark ages until the 2000s. Inoki ran that shit into the ground, says Bobby Ruski. What about you, Dave? What did you think of the match and the outcome?
I thought I was one of the guys too. I think everyone. I think a lot of people were picking Tanahashi to win this because it was almost seen in the stars. Once you won the G1, like Tanahashi has to win the title now. I mean, that's what it was all I kept hearing a lot of it. That's Tanahashi. And this match was great. I mean, from Kenny Omega about killing himself to that freaking dive, and he like completely missed and almost knocked out Tanahashi too.
When he went through the table off the top rope outside the, and that was
bad. Yeah, when he was going for man. But this was fun. I mean, Kenny was playing that straight up heel in this match, which he had no choice, I guess. But he looked different with the dark hair, though. I got so used to seeing him with the blonde hair. It was just like okay, but I guess it's kind of like Cody when he goes from blonde to dark. But yeah, this was fun. I enjoyed it. It went like 39 minutes. Which I wasn't surprised because it's like these two guys, even Alex said in the chat when we were talking about like these had quick matches. He's like, oh, Tanahashi Omega is going at least 30 minutes. I mean, and it did. It delivered, and I thought it was great. And Tanahashi is your champion, and hopefully, I don't know what the next big pay-per-view is, Alex, but Tanahashi and Jericho, could that be by like what, next few months or possibly 6 months?
In terms of like the big ones, you have like Wrestle Kingdom, then you have Dominion in the summer, then you have obviously the G1. So for Dominion, which is like summertime, I could see Tanahashi and Chris Jericho.
Man.
Oh, because Red Sox fan echo again.
Here we go again.
Let's see.
What is that?
We're getting the echo again.
Really? I haven't moved my laptop.
don't know why it's doing it.
Oh, try backing out and
backing again.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
All right, so as someone who first time
staying up.
Until Alex
drops.
There he goes. For staying up early in the morning and watching a show, thought it was worth it. I enjoyed myself for pretty much the whole night. Morning. I thought most of the matches delivered, other than Cody and you're good, Cody and Juice Robinson. I think that was the only bad match. Like, if you were gonna say a bad match on the card, it was probably that one. But I thought Wrestle Kingdom brought it. I thought it was a good show. I was able to stay up through the whole thing, so that shows you that it didn't bore me to sleep, or it wasn't boring at all. I thought the opening match really got you going. The match of the night, to me, probably a lot of you will probably disagree with, but I thought it was Jay White and Okada. I thought that match, to me, was the best match of the three. Jericho and the Omega match as well. But as an overall pay-per-view, I'd give it a 4.5. It was a very entertaining show. What about you, Alex? What did you think of the match? The show, and what was your match of the night?
It was a good show. It wasn't the best Wrestle Kingdom I've seen, but it was definitely a really good show. I thought the last three matches really did deliver. Jay White, the street fight, the main event. I enjoyed Ibushi and Kota. I'm actually gonna go with. I think honestly, I know it's very cliched and obvious. I'm gonna go with the main event just because when I first started watching New Japan, Tanahashi was an instant grab because he's that star, you know.
We're gonna touch on that, Bobruski.
He's the guy, you know. He's like you could say whatever you want, the Hogan, the John Cena, all that, but he's just so loved by the fans. I guess not the John Cena, but in terms of just that popularity, and he, I was one of those that just was a fan from no matter what he did. So seeing him get his moment again, I just loved everything about it.
Let's get to the chat real quick before. What's up with AJ? I don't know yet. White and Tanahashi is next year's Wrestle Kingdom, I bet. G1 is starting in Dallas. I will not be going to that, only if it was in San Antonio. Hell yeah, but Dallas is not a hop, skipping away. That's like a 6-hour drive. I would love to go and see that, but it's just too far. Solid show, but it was missing that one blockbuster match. Ospreay versus Ibushi was my match of the night. Will Jay White win IWGP Championship at Dominion, says Johnny. Wrestling, can't wait for Nakamura to go back to New Japan. Wrestle Kingdom trended #1 worldwide, so a lot of people stayed up through the night to watch wrestling. Yeah, it was, before we get to you, Dave, it was pretty cool to see all these wrestling fans stay up get up so early in the morning to watch a WrestleMania-like show, which it being 4 hours long and all these matches. It was pretty cool to see everybody tweeting and talking about it. It was pretty cool to see wrestling fans, how far wrestling has grown since when I was little. It's just crazy. ROH is doing a San Antonio show. Yes, ROH is coming to San Antonio this month in 2 or 3 weeks, I believe. What about you, Dave? Match of the night, and what was your overall thoughts of the show?
I thought it was a good show, but if I'm sitting here comparing it like we like to do, I'm like, man, I'm not saying there was a lot of better There was some matches that were probably better on here, but when I got my first introduction to New Japan last year, it was every match on that card, Wrestle Kingdom 12, was 25 minutes plus. And that's what I was expecting tonight. Tonight. Friday morning. That's what I was expecting. I was like, I'm going to be here until 8 o'clock in the morning watching this, because that's what it was last year. It was until 8 o'clock in the morning, if not past that. That's what I was expecting, and more of that. But look, the show was good. I like the longer matches. That's what really gets me into the matches too. But you know what? It was still a good show. I don't know if that had something to do with everyone leaving or what, but it just seemed completely different last year. And there were a lot of really long matches. Maybe newer fans, like they said, that they got a tweeting about it last night, and everyone's staying up late. Maybe that's why they changed it up a little bit, so it wouldn't feel as long as they normally do. Just let everyone go 30 minutes plus, and then destroying it. But yeah, I thought it was a good show. I mean, I'm not gonna go out and say it was a 10 out of 10 match or show, but I mean, I think it was at least a 4.5. I thought it was an entertaining show for the 3.5 hours it was.
And match of the night?
I gotta go with Tanahashi and Omega. Tanahashi, because I started really watching some more Tanahashi matches at G1, and that match he had with Okada was unbelievable. I mean, that was just one of those like, wow, I can't wait for this. And I really became more of a fan. I guess it's a little late, but of Tanahashi lately.
Okay. All right. So let's go to the chat room real quick. Please, feel free to tell you guys in the chat what your favorite match of the night was. Let's see. According to the bro, we're all marks. Yes. Vince Russo.
I knew we were going to go there.
Dumbass tweet of the night calling everybody who's waking up early in the morning to watch a New Japan show are all marks. Gotta love fucking Vince.
No, he said it. Anyone in the U.S. watching a bunch of fake guys wrestle it over here in the States are a bunch of stupid marks and so much.
So stupid. So dumb. All right. Let's move on to some more New Japan rumors that are going around. Everyone's favorite Dave Meltzer is reporting that the 3 top New Japan stars have been rumored to possibly be leaving the promotion soon. It's also been rumored that WWE has sent fillers out to these stars. The 3 rumored names are Naito, Okada, and Kushida. I'm saying that correct, right? Yes. Naito would be the one of the 3 at least Japanese top guys fillers have been sent to. The other 2 that we're aware of didn't turn the offers down without thought, although one would be a huge surprise and the other would be a great worker who I didn't see flourishing in the WWE system, but also probably wouldn't have any reservations about moving to the U.S. like many of the Japanese might. Both Okada and Kushida lost their matches at Wrestle Kingdom. However, Naito won his match against Jericho to become the IWGP Intercontinental Champion. Alex, out of these 3 names, do you see any of them leaving? I know Kushida has already been rumored to leave, but what about Okada and Naito? Do you even see them touching WWE soil?
No. That I know we do the never say never, but Naito definitely. I don't know. I just can't see what he does doing that kind of being used right, let alone either being used right in the WWE or getting over in that style, you know. Okada, I wouldn't be surprised if WWE's tried to make an offer at Okada because you know he's got the look of a star. He's got the height. So he could definitely be someone that could be put in.
Tommy.
Yeah, and look in WWE, so I could definitely see them making offers, but I think Okada also. I think Okada probably gets talks to his chaos buddy Nakamura daily. Nakamura's like, "Don't come. It's okay. I'm taking one for the team. The money's good, but I'm like 40. You still have time."
Johnny Wrestling puts Naito and Okada aren't leaving, but Triple H has his fingers all over Kushida. Let's see what else.
If I was Kushida, I would send the kid wearing the Kushida mask.
Oh my god!
Just send him instead. I don't think I would notice.
Theory puts Naito would never go to the WWE. He talks so much crap about WWE. He hates the WWE, says Theory. Adam Bond says Impact might lose their reputation as the only company that screwed up having Okada. that's very true. What about you, Theory?
Too.
What about those 3 guys? Well, not Kushida, because we kind of already know that the writing on the wall is him going to the WWE.
Well, Okada, we've heard for like months and or years actually that WWE really wants to get Okada. So I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they try to get him, but let's not forget. I mean, Otami was one of those guys too, who everyone was so high on. Oh wow, we got Otami now. We got Kenta. Wow, we got Kenta. He's gonna be a huge star here, and then it didn't work. Okay, we get Nakamura. He's gonna be a huge star here, and it didn't work. So I mean, I don't know. They're 0 for 2 with Japanese stars. I mean, so I don't know.
At least on the men's side.
Go,
I guess you could say they're a little bit successful with Asuka.
Yeah, she's champion right now.
Before we move on to Kenny Omega, I just want to say, don't forget we are Get the Tables podcast. We're live every Tuesdays and Saturdays. Tuesdays our Raw and SmackDown recap shows, and then our Saturday night shows are kind of just to shoot the shit. We touch upon all companies worldwide and give us our thoughts and opinions, and then we kind of shoot the shit the rest of the night. So if you haven't already, hit that follow button. We'd really appreciate that. We're also live on YouTube. I Get the Tables podcast. You can hit us up there and subscribe to us. We're trying to get to 150 subscribers by WrestleMania, and we're almost there. We're at 108 subscribers right now on YouTube, so we would love for everybody just to pop over there and hit that subscribe if you haven't already. And we appreciate all the new viewers who popped in here. Thank you very much. Yeah, we got a little bit more to talk about as well.
I meant for wrestling. Next weekend is the NXT UK takeover.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, it's going to be a busy week for us.
Whatever it is.
Let's see. I think Kushida in NXT would be amazing, says Johnny Wrestling. Yeah, who can forget the great Sonata, for fuck's sakes? Impact, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know. They fuck him up.
Because Vince doesn't push Asian stars on the main roster, loves his WWE made wrestlers. That's true. That's a good point there. All right, so going to Kenny Omega. This is one of the hottest free agents to hit the market at the end of the month, y'all. The WWE reportedly offered New Japan star Kenny Omega a fantastic offer before Wrestle Kingdom 13 about with Tanahashi. Everyone's favorite, Dave Meltzer, reported that the deal by WWE was a fantastic offer, though Meltzer did not reveal any specifics. What I've been reading online is that he's getting about the same deal that they offered AJ Styles, which was, what, $3 million a year, if I'm not mistaken? Alex, Kenny Omega, this time next year, where is he at?
I'm still gonna go AEW, but I love the dirt sheets because you get to see reactions like this based off news like this. I mean, people really, like we just made a reference to LeBron. People are ready to take to the Twitter streets and riot and speculate
Omega jerseys.
And like, how dare Kenny Omega betray? I would never respect him. I'm like, what is he doing again? Like, if he's a free agent, and let's just say he does go to the WWE, why not? Good for him. If he wants to wrestle a less demanding style and he wants to make good amount of money, I'm not saying he would in AEW, and maybe part of him wanted to go back to the WWE and prove everyone wrong. Remember, Kenny Omega was in development and he got let go. So maybe this is some type of vendetta that he wants to go and prove everyone else from there. So if he does, then if that's what he wants to do and thinks that'll make him happy as a fan, like, who are we to say anything? I get people are worried with how, people will be treated in the sense, but personally, I think with how depleted the WWE is and how desperate they want to take away people from AEW, I could see, and I talked about it earlier, I could see Kenny Omega getting an AJ Styles treatment. I mean, I could see him just bypassing NXT, becoming top guy, but not like, the guy.
In all seriousness, Omega is too big for NXT, right?
Yeah, that would be. I'm sorry, like, NXT is great, but NXT also has its purpose. It would be awesome to see Kenny go up against some of those NXT talents, but I think NXT is so stacked as it is, you don't really need him. The main roster needs that type of instant, gives you
it wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt NXT.
Character, and it just gives a little something different.
It wouldn't hurt NXT either. I'm not saying he'll go there.
I know.
Can you go ahead?
I just think that the main roster would benefit more from
the parts there. Thank you.
Yeah, no, but he would be a star if you put him on. I mean, he already is a star. Don't get me wrong, but he would really. Appreciate
that.
I don't know. You could get rid of Adam Cole and have them announce Kenny Omega as a new leader of Undisputed Era. That piss a lot of people off. And get rid of Adam Cole finally. Send him off. But yeah. I agree. He'll probably go to the main roster, and I think it'd be cool if he goes to WWE. Why not? I mean, because he would be able to get financially set for a while. That even if he does retire after 3 or 4 years, not retire, but leave WWE after like 3 or 4 years, guess what? He'll always have a merchandise check from WWE.
Yeah.
A lot of comments in the chat. How dare Kenny get paid? Says Speeds. Yeah, actually, that's very true. Bob Aruski puts Iroria for his promo voice. We got Theory throwing out some dream matches: Omega versus Styles, Omega versus Rollins, Omega versus Balor. A big factor everyone.
Omega and Styles is the match I want to see because
because he kicked him out.
He kicked AJ out.
I can't hear. We can't hear you, Dave.
Sorry about that. I was moving. Sorry. Yeah, but the other two guys too. They got kicked out by Kenny too, I believe.
A big factor everyone missing. Kenny loves his creative control. It would be cool for Kenny to go to WWE for a year or two, make all the money, and then go to AEW. Omega should go to NXT. Should never go to NXT. Excuse me. Thank you, Rich. We appreciate that.
Hey, Tony.
Yes.
Did you guys hear that? The rumor going around too is that if he goes to WWE, they're not going to let him use the One-Winged Angel.
Yeah, I read that.
And any specific reason why? I didn't read up on that.
Because
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say it's because it's kind of dangerous, I guess. So they're not going to let him do it.
Jericho talked about how he straight up said he hates that move. He said it hurts more than it should. He also says that when a move like that already is very uncomfortable to take, and he also said because Killian Dane uses it, but when's the last time we saw Killian Dane again?
Yeah,
that matters. I don't know, but hey, like I said, I think more than anything he's going to AEW, but it's just fun to speculate, and it's just fun to just think about possibilities, not just get ready to stake your, sharpen your stakes and stuff, and get ready to cause a riot on something that may and more than likely not even happen.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, look at it like this. When we first seen AJ Styles. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I think that's what dirt sheets should be used for. A lot of the main stuff, sure, we take with a grain of salt, but when it comes to stories like this, it's well, what if? That's what the fun of talking about wrestling is. You get these possibilities.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, remember when AJ Styles first showed up at the Rumble, and then that night on Raw, the next night on Raw, all of a sudden, AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho on Monday Night Raw. It was what? I mean, that was just mind-blowing. AJ Styles is wrestling on Monday Night Raw. Holy shit. I mean, that was mind-blowing. Imagine that for, Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega up next. That
was Money in the Bank when AJ was facing John Cena. I'm like, holy shit, AJ Styles is fighting John Cena. I didn't think I would ever see that. And then, holy shit, they had an amazing match.
Let's see. Well, to be fair, Pro Wrestling Tees, he sells a shitload for along with the Elite. AEW is going to offer that mega contract with that creative control.
I see what he did there.
Oh my God, we know all Elite. Listen, everybody, this is just us playing around. If he goes to WWE, we know AEW can offer him the same or if not more of a contract to join them. We know that they're backed up by a guy that has more money than Vince. So we understand that. We're just kind of playing, devil's advocate here. Yeah. And a lot of people are saying that WWE offered him $5 million, Kenny Omega. Gee, that's gotta be hard to deny that, man. Unless Elite offers you more.
And I'm not trying to put a downer on AEW. I think it's great, but remember, WWE is still established. It's not by no means yes, the ratings have been sucking, the product has been inconsistent, but it's already an established company for what it's trying to do. All Elite just literally made an announcement 6 days ago. You really think, between the two, I'm not saying that it's going to come into account, but you really think if Kenny did sign with AEW, he'd make more money than he would in WWE? Especially when we don't know much about how AEW is going to do. He would make a shit ton more money.
Yeah, but if we're looking at it, go ahead.
But I like I said, I don't think that would be the thing that turns Kenny. I still think AEW would still try to pay a big contract for him.
Yeah, but another thing, I think we got to look at it like this. If we're looking at it like this, and he doesn't go to WWE, I think it's AEW needs Kenny Omega. WWE really doesn't.
No, Vince just doesn't just wants to destroy AEW.
Because that would be a big get for AEW to get Kenny Omega. They need it.
Oh yeah, they would. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Omega is more needed on the AEW side, but man, you can't tell me that WWE wouldn't benefit from Omega showing up
would,
in Rumble.
But for a big name standpoint to have on your card, AEW has Kenny Omega. Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, Kenny Omega. I mean, it's a big difference because they're a new company and they're trying to get as many big names as they can to be able to showcase on their show.
Right.
And
apparently Bill Goldberg's going to be the GM.
Yeah, we'll touch on that as well. So we're about to touch on that actually right now. Their development center is better than their main roster, says Red Sox fan. Yes, the earliest Omega could show up at the WWE, if he did, would be sometime in February. No way Omega versus Ambrose. Ambrose is one boring in-ring wrestler. Who will book AEW? I don't have faith in Cody to write that whole show. It would be
Started on Ambrose.
the Young Bucks booking this show.
Start on Ambrose.
you got to know how to do a super kick. Otherwise, you can't work it.
At least 10 super kicks. All right, so he's needed because Reigns is out. Only reason I see them really going after Kenny. I agree with you on that.
Dave,
now let's get to this whole.
Quick, Dave. If Kenny went to NXT, do you know how many V triggers you would see in that match? Considering everyone in the fucking NXT.
That's probably if he goes to WWE, that's his new finisher.
Well, everyone in NXT has a V trigger, a Kinshasa, a Shining Wizard. Like, there's just gonna be V trigger spams everywhere. I would.
Oh yeah, they were really.
Or
go ahead. They were really playing up.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No.
Okay, they were during that first match. They were laying it on thick. Oh, Nakamura this, Nakamura that. Oh, Nakamura. I mean, it's like Nakamura, come home. I mean, that's like what it really was right there.
They want Nakamura back badly, I think, in New Japan.
I mean, that was just like, oh, Nakamura and Ibushi are best friends. They're really good friends.
Now, here's the funny thing about Alex mentioning Goldberg. He has been in AEW news. So here we go. Right, let's get ready, folks. We previously reported that Cody Rhodes has confirmed himself as Executive Vice President of Promotion with the Young Bucks. In addition to Raja.com is reporting that both Chris Jericho and Jim Ross will be heavily involved with the promotion. The speculation surrounding Jericho and JR goes back several months. Both have been coy or denied involvement with AEW, but it looks as if they are just biding their time, or biding their time, for the $100 million launch of the brand. Ross is still under contract to WWE for another few months, but the speculation is that he will not sign a new deal, and only then he will publicize his involvement with AEW. Here we go with this, folks. AEW is also reportedly set go hard at wrestlers who have contracts expiring with WWE in an attempt to lure them over. Sports agent Barry Bloom is reporting working on talent recruitment, and one name he represents that has come up is WWE Hall of Famer Bill Goldberg. The company is also said to be focused on other off-screen talents such as producers and agents. As previously reported, AEW executives are working on a deal to get the promotion on television with Time Warner's TNT and TBS to be rumored. Khan is reportedly using all his connections to secure a deal.
Wow. Can you imagine that, Tony? A wrestling promotion on TNT again.
Shit.
That'd be crazy.
Now, Goldberg, part of AEW Wrestling. Your thoughts on that, Alex?
I mean, it depends on the role. I mean, look, I know we all have our views on Goldberg, but as like a name product, that's if they want star power. I'm not saying Goldberg by no means was at the top of my list or even on my list of who I thought they would try to get in terms of someone that can carry some form of star power. And I'm not saying he's a big star, but he is well known. You can't deny that whether you liked or hate the guy. He is a well-known name. Still, like I feel like if you could still ask like some casual wrestling fans, they would obviously know that name from the history books. With that said, so yeah, I mean, even if he was to sign, it kind of depends on what his role could be. What if he is the GM? Like like you don't have him as a wrestler, you have him announce like GM, like the whole GM role, and then obviously there are some segments where he can show off like those badass moments. Because I mean, all he does is a spear and a jackhammer, so I'm sure every once in a while, like I'm sure the crowd wouldn't mind seeing a spear from Goldberg. But yeah, I don't know what it's kind of interesting just because it's like, why him of all people did they try to get? What role do they have for him? I hope by no fucking means he's gonna in the main title at Double or Nothing. If that's what this is leading to, then they're not starting off good. I'll just say that. But obviously, it's interesting. I mean, you see like who AEW's following on Twitter. So anyone that they follow, you're like, oh, they're going to AEW. Are they going to AEW? Like, what are they doing? Why are they following? Why are they friends? Like, what is this friendship? So, yeah, I mean, it's interesting to say the least.
Could he do a GM role though? A lot of people in the chat commenting he's not good on the microphone. Do you think he could thrive as a GM role, or do you think they'll probably do maybe type of have him show up, maybe have one big match at maybe Double or Nothing, or maybe down the line, and just to kind of gain some more of an audience?
I mean, how do the GMs in our show do it? It's just there. I mean, it's a GM role, so I'm not expecting like that it to be the main contributor, but just to if you think about it, when you put on like a syndicate TV, just to have the face on the camera, even if it's for 5 minutes, saying, or him like hyping up like the intro video, like hyping up the title match, like, and he could just be that guy that just says, "All right, let the challenger come out. Who's next?"
Who's next?
Yeah, let him hit his catchphrase. He gets on TV. It shows the we used to watch wrestling kind of trying to get back in. Like there is something I guess they could do with them, but I wouldn't mind it being a role like that. I don't want to see prolonged by no means. But
something popped in my head. Goldberg's gonna cut a promo on AEW, their first show. Say WWE, you're next.
Yeah. Let's see. Maybe they sign Brock, make him the champ, and have him wrestle twice a year. Oh wait, yeah.
Brock will win the title, and he will be part-time because he's still the champion in the WWE. When Brock is not in the WWE, he's wrestling in AEW.
Red Sox says Double will be in Vegas, and it's going to be bigger venue than All In. He says. I know that. I think I saw a date. I just don't have it on my screen right now.
I don't know if Goldberg to me just doesn't scream AEW to me, but whatever.
No, it was nowhere near like what I thought of all the people they would try to get. I'm like, really? Goldberg? Yeah. All right. That's different.
Red Sox fan says, "Oh, you guys marked out when Goldberg came back to the WWE." I don't remember. I wasn't sure if I marked out, but
no, I didn't really care, and I sure as hell stopped.
I didn't care for Brock and Goldberg.
I stopped caring when he beat Kevin Owens. I was like, I hate everything.
If Bob Ruski has a question in the chat. He says, if any WWE guy could take a picture with the Elite Tuesday, who would you pick? They are in Jacksonville the same night SmackDown is.
Daniel Bryan.
What you're saying? Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder. Yeah, that's a good one.
AJ.
He's in catering Mondays and Tuesdays. He'll be there.
You know what would be perfect though? If Nakamura and Cody and the Bucks are taking pictures together or something. That'd be kind of interesting.
Nakamura would be a good picture. Who else? Oh, that's a good question. Who should the Revival and the Young Bucks?
Oh, that would be an interesting photo right there.
I think if they want to break the internet, the Revival and the Young Bucks posing would definitely create some fun.
That would be hilarious if that. Ty Dillinger says bye, Baruski. That was another one. That's another one. Ziggler, maybe.
Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze. Like, I'm sure that at one point we've all been talking about, which WWE guy would you like to see in AEW? But yeah, those type of names. I think Revival.
Am I the only person that hears AEW and thinks of root beer? No, you got to. That's funny.
There's also talk of Ryback too, possibly going there.
Oh God, feed me more.
I have Goldberg as general manager, and I have Mini Goldberg in the ring.
No, that's what they should do. I don't know if it would work. It'd probably
Goldberg versus Ryback at double.
Yeah, Goldberg just squashes Ryback.
But you know what? With Ryback as oh god, I can't believe I'm actually trying to make this a serious talk. Ryback's trying to do his podcast. He could be an announcer. Sure, why not? If they really wanted to like get some names just to say they got some names and not put them in a wrestling role, but just add on to the production.
Ryback's going to be in the crowd at all in Double or Nothing. They're going to do that little shot to Ryback. Oh, Ryback's here. What is Ryback doing here?
Oh, God.
You know you're going to get one of those things, yeah, like they do. Like, oh, look who's here.
Does that mean Cody's going to do his he's going to have his Triple H pose with, like, new up-and-comer AEWs? Just them, like, smoking a cigar together? Or the pose with the dog Pharaoh? Is that the Triple H thing?
Oh, God. All right, so let's move on to some other news according to everyone's favorite and Dave's favorite, Mr. Meltzer. Officials from All Elite, ROH, and New Japan met on Saturday, January 5th, to discuss how they can all work together. That being said, potential issues could arise with ROH and AEW, both looking to sign some of the same talent to exclusive deals in the United States. Now, Dave and I kind of touched on this on Tuesday night that I said, we talked about this in the group chat, that Impact Wrestling is in some trouble, I think, at least, with the All Elite Wrestling announcement. But what do you think? Now, we saw what happened at Wrestle Kingdom, where everybody who seemingly are leaving New Japan lost. Do you think the working relationship with All Elite will work out with New Japan and ROH, or do you think it's going to be all for one in the next couple of months?
I think the meeting was Ring of Honor saying, please don't put us out of business. I mean, look, Ring of Honor has been a mainstay in the independent world. It's, nothing will top some of the best wrestling you'll see is 2002 up until pretty much 2012, I would say. Pretty much when I would say till when Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens left. Like from there, like you had some great up and comer guys. You had Samoa Joe, you had Daniel Bryan, you had Dave's favorite Seth Rollins in there. A lot of you had Kevin Owens, you had all these guys, and then you had people that
don't forget Punk.
And then of course you had CM Punk, and then Austin, like some well-known names in the wrestling world, and you have some wrestlers that were big back in the early 2000s. I mean, low key, even though he's a piece of shit, like he was one of the big mainstays of independent wrestling in the beginning. So a lot of history from Ring of Honor from people who grew up or enjoyed independent wrestling. But with that said, when you look at the deals they've gotten so far, they keep that low budget feel to their production value. And yes, they're expanding more on media. They have a Honor Club membership. But honestly, when you look at this, when you look at what Impact's trying to do with Pop, none of them have or are coming close to what All Elite is providing. I mean, we just talked about they're about to have a show on what TV. What did you guys say? TBS or TNT?
Yeah, but either one. That the rumors are TBS or TNT.
Either one. That's sure as hell more. I know I have that. That's sure as hell better than the Hunting Shawn Michaels channel. That
hey, calm down.
What?
They're not on that channel. That was the outdoor channel. I think. This is less than that.
Oh, sorry.
This is worse. So okay, calm down.
But no, like, you know what I mean? Like, no other syndicate, even MLW, all these like have that potential AEW's providing, like in terms of a syndicate TV deal. So yeah, if I was Ring of Honor, I would set a meeting because that would put them in trouble. New Japan, they just like in the last year really gone full frontal with the Western expansion. A part of that was having the Elite, and if you already have a company now with like the guys that brought a lot of New Japan New Japan fans in, or bandwagon fans, or whatever you want to call the new followers, like that they're already at All Elite. So so yeah, I would say I would, if I was New Japan trying to get into the Western world or Ring of Honor, yeah, I'd be worried about AEW because it's a whole new world. They have their own sponsor. They have a billionaire putting in what $100 million into the project. From last thing I read.
Yes.
Yeah. I definitely think relationships they will try. I think that's the goal. I think that's
that, Greg.
But I do think AEW's, once it starts picking up steam, it's really going to go off into its own. And also it comes down to what the president wants. Like maybe he's not all about pro wrestling unity and wrestling is for everyone hashtags and all that's bullshit I read on Twitter. Maybe he just wants to be a straight up businessman, which he is, and he wants the best for his company. He wants to make it his own thing. He wants to have he's probably going to use it to try and get more mainstream syndication. Maybe he's going to try and involve NFL crossovers into this type of product because he can. So if I was from a business side, why do I need ROH? Why do I need New Japan? I'm just going to take who I need and what I want. Maybe he does it.
But is that good for wrestling, though? To just put all these people out of business?
And I'm not saying it's good for wrestling, but like I said, it kind of comes down to what the president wants. He doesn't want to work with other wrestlers, and he just wants to make the company his own thing. I mean,
we've seen how well that worked out.
And I agree. That's one of my things about AEW is like the son who is putting all this money. He's a huge fan, but it's kind of his daddy's money. So if it really comes down to the person who's owning it and running the business. If they have those same views that I'd imagine the Bucks and Cody have in terms of what they want to do for the wrestling world, then yeah, it's great, but you never know.
I'm not ignoring the chat. I'm not going to interrupt when Alex is talking to read what you guys are saying. That's why I say, let me go back and read the chat. All right? So let me go back and read the chat.
Guys, everybody? I got to have time to talk.
Jesus Lord. Bob Risky says ROH first created the stars you see in WWE right now. Pretty sure Callis has already worked out a deal, says Adam Baum. ROH made NXT what it is, and that's the truth. I'm worried about the Supercard of Honor show now. Lots of refunds if they're not working with AEW. What else?
There goes that card pretty much.
The big
Japan was
like
pretty much that's it.
Because to a lot of fans, they just said, "Hey, the elite are going to use this show as competition for WWE. Let's hop on." You have to
see. My whole thing is I'm against it because I'm against them trying to take out everyone's talent and just wipe out the indies.
I mean, it's nice to think that it's pretty much it would be like WWE against everyone unified. That would be something, but yeah.
Now, Bob Ruski says, if I'm going to pay you millions, I would be worried for you to work another promotion and get hurt. And we had that happen for Impact with Rich Swann. We touched on this where if I'm all elite and I'm paying you good money to show up and wrestle and perform, I would be kind of worried about you going over to New Japan with that type of style that they run. The flip. They go all out on New Japan. You guys know that.
If I'm putting in $100 million, I'm going to protect my investment.
Right.
Oh, I get that. I understand that part, but I'm just saying I would not want to see Impact or ROH, especially Impact and MLW. I think they're one and the same simply because they're both on really small networks.
Dave, I'm sorry, man. I know you guys talked about it, but I'm worried for Impact.
Yeah, I am too. That's what I'm saying. I'm worried. I just hate to see these companies get put out of business. I'm just saying. I get the exclusive.
Yeah, but I was worried for Impact before AEW got announced, but yeah, this kind of definitely adds on to, unfortunately, the uphill battle that Impact has been battling. And as fans, and I'm a recent return fan. I've been watching as I could, but. I appreciate the creativity they put in. I appreciate the talent and the in-ring matches we get, and they're really trying. But unfortunately, they don't have those doors opening up for them that they can, and it sucks. Especially when you've seen how good they can be when they're at the top, like back in the earlier years. And I don't know how Impact's gonna be by the end of the year.
No, I'm not. I'm not triggered at all, everybody. I'm just saying that I'm not ignoring your comments. I see your comments, but if Alex is talking or if Dave's talking, I'm not just going to just interrupt them to reply or say something about your comments. That's why I let them talk, and then I say, let's go to the chat room. I see everyone's comments. I'm not ignoring them. I remember the ones that are the real good comments or questions. You guys see that. Dave, what about you? It just seems like if I'm AEW, if I'm Cody Rhodes, I wouldn't want my talent to work for ROH or New Japan.
You didn't say Impact.
Or Impact either. Shit. Do they even consider Impact a threat?
Well, no, that's why I'm saying I don't think MLW is really that much of a threat to them either.
No.
But
That's insane. That all AEW was announced on New Year's Day, basically, and they've already skyrocketed to probably the number 2 company in the U.S. Would y'all agree with that?
yeah, I mean they're up. Look, you know what? Overall, as much as I love Impact Wrestling and I do like some MLW too, if this means that we're gonna get better wrestling and better stuff, and maybe WE actually start taking stuff seriously again, and like, oh shit, we got some real competition on our hands now. We got to start doing something, keeping the fans we have still, because that's the new era reason it started right there. Because AEW was coming and they knew it, and everything's blowing up. But if they can give us what fans really wanting is good wrestling, it's the stuff that we never thought we had seen. It's good for wrestling.
Dave, you know what fans want? Fans want wrestlers who will take
Scarlet?
No, they want who will take a tampon and
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
I wasn't gonna touch it.
I'm sorry.
I wasn't gonna touch on that tonight, but all right, there we go. The tampon mention was made tonight.
Sorry, that's why I had to segue. What the fuck?
No.
All right.
No fans.
That's a
want
good
that.
point, Speeds. AEW is not number 2. We know fuck all about them. It could be a shit show for all we know. That's true.
This is all hype.
It is all hype. To me, it's the New Japan heads, and I'm not dogging them, but they're the ones that are on Twitter that say every match on Wrestle Kingdom was amazing, and that they cried at this announcement and all this stuff. Those are the fans that are already establishing this company as number 2 or even maybe number 1 in their eyes. And I think that's a little bit kind of far-fetched when we don't even know who's on the show, how the shows are going to be, how long the shows are going to be, what channel they're going to be on. It's all speculation at this point.
Scale that success, right? Like, look, I'm not trying to be a downer. All In was great. They hit 10,000 fans. I mean, 10,000 over, right?
Right.
And that's an annual event. You have to remember now that they're going to be a company. That's something that if you really want to say this is going to be competition, they have to repeat that on a monthly basis, you know?
Yeah. Now, I'm not sure how much ROH gets as a full crowd when they have their pay-per-views or live events and stuff like that. I know it's probably not crazy.
The biggest shows 8,000, honestly. They have gone higher at some times in their career, but nothing too crazy. But no, like, look, we shit on the pay-per-view quality of matches of WWE by no means are up there always, especially consistently from beginning to end, but they're able to reproduce numbers weekly and weekly.
Yeah, and the funny thing is,
low time attendance, they're still hitting like a sellout big event,
Right.
all in events.
Calix will
also,
be
what
calling
are people-
commentator,
Oh, go ahead.
be a commentator for All Elite, says Adam Baum.
You know what's
Calix
crazy to me?
Go ahead. No,
I was just going to say really quick that it's crazy because when you think about this, what are fans always saying? Like, man, that ROH or that New Japan show, man, not New Japan, but ROH show was so good. Oh, yeah, they had a great matches in a bingo hall. This could change because All Elite Wrestling could actually get in these WCW type arenas that they were getting compared to going against WE.
And
That's asking a lot right there.
And we talked about this earlier in like on the chat, but like I'm not saying it would happen anytime soon, but if when AEW starts, getting their groundings, they start getting a good consistent foundation, not this year, maybe next year, somewhere down the road, like they have access to the Jaguar Stadium and the potential. I'm not saying that they could do it. I don't see them doing it soon, but they do have the venue to host a WrestleMania sized crowd.
Yeah, I mean, if they do get if the show's a hit and the company is gathering up those stars, it could happen.
If they sold out the Jaguar, if they actually sold out the Jaguar Stadium, which the football team doesn't anyway, so if they did it themselves, I can make football digs. Don't worry. But if they could do that, then oh my God, Vince would flip a shit.
If it becomes big, defections will happen and wrestling will get crazy again in a good way. ROH rarely draws more than a few thousand. This year's show, Mania Weekend, was their biggest house. Finally, I've been saying that for a while. I know, Adam Ball. I apologize for that.
Who's to say they couldn't do it like that, though? Like, say WrestleMania, which to be in Florida again. What if they did some big show on WrestleMania weekend at their little Jags arena?
Yeah,
know?
but
It's
the
very
stadium,
possible.
it's not a little arena. It's not like 10,000 people.
Okay,
It's
fine.
like
I understand that, but if you do some kind of super card show or whatever they're doing, like when they showed out, I know again it's not MSG. I get that, but I'm just saying something like that. I mean, and they get a bunch of big, like All In was a bunch of dream matches.
I don't
I
know,
could
man.
definitely see it happening.
I just
I don't know. And with ROH, I mean, I know everyone we're excited about the G1 Supercard, but I'm sorry, guys, the Elite sold out the G1
yeah, the
Supercard.
G1
Yep.
Supercard. Does it sound as intriguing as it once did when the first
No,
announcement was made?
The Elite sold that out. And that was another issue I've always had with ROH in the last few years. It became so dependent on the Elite, which is
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
exactly.
They-
Look at
they
last
hopped-
year.
And there's nothing wrong with that. They hopped on what was hot, but now look what's happening. AEW is now trying to make the Elite's essentially going to be exclusive for them. So a lot of the companies that they were so integrated in, like when people tune into ROH, are you really like that excited to see Bruiser Brody versus Kenny King? Are you excited to see Scorpio Sky? Do you even know who I'm talking about, guys? Or should I start
I
using
do.
British Girl, Adam Page, the people that people really watch? So that's been my issue, and it's kind of showing when AEW is now starting to form.
It's crazy when you think about it. What was the main event of Supercard last year? What was the main match that was focused on Supercard last year? Anyone remember?
All I remember is that it involved Kenny Omega.
That was the main event.
And then Cody Rhodes.
I think it
So
was the main event anyway. That was a big match coming out of the whole Wrestle Kingdom and all that stuff too, because they were doing the Kenny and Cody all year long, and Supercard was the big payoff for it. And the Young Bucks are all involved and all that. And
that's why
now,
ROH, I would be worried too.
We've been talking about this for a long time, though, for almost most of this past year, because we're like, if you move away the Bullet Club from ROH, they have nothing.
And oh my God, could you imagine if AEW took like a Jay Lethal from Ring of Honor? They'd be screwed. He's like their go-to guy.
Yeah, and well, I mean, the only guy left from the Elite is Marty Scurll, and it's only time will tell and see how long he'll last in ROH.
Yeah.
So,
well, there have been rumors that they might try to give him the world title and all that just to keep him.
Oh, probably. I think he's going to be world champion by summer. But yeah, but I don't even think Marty is.
Adam Bomb puts them and New Japan have relied on the Elite. I gotta agree with you on that.
Yeah, but ROH is more like heavy relying on the Elite. Or the Bullet Club in general.
ROH was in a funk before New Japan crossovers for a brief moment. I don't know if people remember.
Jericho said the only reason he's working with the Indies is because WWE are like roaches; they can't fold. Lethal signed a 3-year with ROH this past summer. It's not the Elite; it's that they're anti-WWE, and the fans that hate WWE love those guys. Yeah, that's another good point. A lot of people that hate the WWE are gonna go after. They're gonna start cheering. For AEW, I can already see.
I don't know, because I think you're going to get some of those WE fans who are going to be like, "Oh, what's AEW?" If it's on a big network, we're going to do like we used to do back in the Attitude Era days or the Monday Night War days. Flipping back and forth.
Honestly,
I'm not saying it's going to be on the same night. I'm just saying, like, checking it out.
That would be a big mistake, I think, if they went on the same night.
They're not going to do the same night. I've just meant like going back and forth. Like checking. Oh, what's this?
The only thing I want, honestly, I just like we've seen all week. The minute the news came out,
that's true, DX. We will move on.
You have one side saying, "Oh, AEW is going to fail. AEW is going to fail." Then you have this side saying, "Oh, the WWE. Now you have competition. Now you have competition. You got like we're going to show you what real wrestling is." And I'm just sitting here just like, hey. Y'all can keep shit talking each other. I just want competition. I want better products all around. I'm still a fan of both things. I mean, our show is mainly WWE, so obviously we're still fans of it. So if this creates better writing products from both sides, then hey, why not?
You know what the big key to this is, I think, is that people. It's not the fact that we're all saying, "Oh, All Elite is number one. All Elite is number two." It's the fact that the potential of this is so huge.
I don't think.
I mean, it's more wait and see. Absolutely.
Since Impact, and when was Impact like at its closest to reaching WWE ratings? When Hogan came around, right? Like 2008.
I believe so. Yeah.
I think it was 12, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it
So
12?
when was like since then, when was the last time you actually got this exciting mainstream intrigue saying, "Oh shit, there's someone that could make Vince sweat."
Yeah. All right, let's move on. We've been on that topic for a little while. We still got to do Impact stuff. So Wrestle Kingdom announced that Wrestle Kingdom 14 will be across 2 days instead of the previous one night.
Oh, what
The
the?
show the show will take place on January 4th, 2020, and have a second show the next day. It was also announced that New Japan will be coming to American Airlines in Dallas on July 6th this year and will be heading to Copper Box Arena in London on August 31st. Your thoughts on that, Alex? Instead of one night or one day, it's 2 days.
Well, I think it's kind of funny that they did this like the day after people wrote on Twitter they didn't like how fast the matches were. So, I mean,
Now you're even slower.
yeah, no, but I mean, if you think about it, like that's I think a good mix because it splits it up. It gives you they can still try and keep the same amount of like the length. They can still try and preserve the lengthy matches that people got into New Japan for in the first place, and it still splits it up so it doesn't feel like a 7 hour like mind drain because I love lengthy matches as much as the next one, but could you imagine watching like your fifth 30-minute match in a row? You're dead.
Oh boy, yeah.
Yeah, you're dead. So why not just split it across 2 days? Why not?
And how many people have said this about WrestleMania? Like, should they, people have said this about WrestleMania plenty of times. Like, oh, should they split it up? Should they make WrestleMania like a 2-day event with how long it is? And now we're going to have, one match start, and then it's going to continue on the next day?
You'll get those opportunities to make sure all the guys you like are featured. You get those chances to say this match that should get hopefully 20 minutes can definitely get it because it's split up.
Speeds just put in the chat. WrestleMania needs to be 2 days. Red Sox fan 6 said 6 matches one night, 6 matches the other. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, you could also do it like this too. Have the IC title main event one show and your IWG World title main event the next show.
That's actually a really good idea. And they already treat it as the co-main event, so might as well make it literal.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. So that was one of the other big news out of New Japan. So this was probably the biggest New Japan heavy show we've ever had on Get the Tables podcast. It just shows you that we are trying to evolve a little bit more.
I mean, all that's left in the dirt sheets is a tampon. So
the tampon in the mouth. No, there's actually one more news, and it's involving the New Day. Have a Raw Mania and a SmackDown Live Mania. Wow, I like that idea. That's not a bad idea. Okada versus Tanahashi versus Jay White 1 hour Iron Man match at Wrestle Kingdom 14. Says Johnny Wrestling in the chat. Would you guys be okay with that?
Does it start on Friday, then the next one on Saturday? A 2 out of 3 falls Iron Man match.
It's literally going to be a 2-day Iron Man match.
No, yeah, that's what we're going to do. 24-hour Iron Man match.
And Okada still won't be tired.
Right?
All right, so before we jump into Impact Wrestling's homecoming pay-per-view predictions, which is tomorrow night, let's go to the only really WWE news, and it's on everyone's favorite, The New Day.
Oh.
Brian Alvarez recently spoke with Tom Lawler of Filthy 4 Daily and revealed that the WWE chairman and CEO Vince McMahon reportedly has plans to make some changes to the characters of the New Day. According to Alvarez, McMahon has given some thought to changing New Day in the past, but ultimately decided to leave them as they were. But now he has reportedly decided that he wants to implement some changes to their characters. On seen in this week's SmackDown Live, it was hinted that New Day might not be using pancakes as props anymore. This may be one of the changes that we'll see in the upcoming weeks and months. So no more pancakes, everybody. Oh, my God.
Well, that's probably because of Fox.
So your thoughts on that? I know we've been all kind of pushing for singles runs for Big E, maybe Xavier Woods, and Kofi Kingston. Could this be the demise of the New Day? What are your thoughts on this, Alex?
I don't know. I feel like at this point, New Day is just one of those groups that I feel like they're never gonna break up. I mean, who knows? But I just feel like they're gonna stay together. But I'm just staying hopeful that this does mean more single pushes. I mean,
They've done. What else can they do in the as a tag team? You know, what else they still find ways to be entertaining? Yes, but you've seen like this is still a stable that should be used to highlight these three and show the potential, especially with Big E and Woods, because we've known about Kofi. Woods was R-Truth for like a year before he actually started coming into his own, and Big E was the lackey for AJ Lee and Dolph Ziggler, and he's found his own character too. So again, every time we talk about what are they going to do for the New Day, I'm just going to keep hoping for single pushes.
Too Sweet Pod says one of those guys should get a world title one day. I agree. Big E deserves it. Yeah, follow Speeds and Too Sweet Pod, two guys that are or two shows, I should say, that really work hard here on Periscope. So give them a follow here if you haven't already. Dave, your thoughts? Do you even give a shit?
I'm just so sick of the New Day. We need to drop the leg on them, brother. And there's something else going on Monday, brother.
Yeah, brother. Let me tell you something, brother. We'll get to that. We'll just touch on that right now. Yeah, Hulk Hogan. Everybody, as you all know, had a good pass with Gene Okerlund. One of the when you think of Gene Okerlund, you think of Hulk Hogan as well. Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. But a lot of people are not feeling it. A lot of people feel like this should have been maybe Ric Flair, or should have Hogan just have been surprised, not have him announced that he was going to show up.
Like I also seen people said, can't he do some like a video package in or something? That's what they were saying. I seen that. Ric Flair to me would have made the most sense though, because those classic interviews.
Yes, I agree with Speed. New Day still has plenty of potential. Great rivalries, Revival, AOP, Undisputed Era. Yeah, they just kind of feel stalled on SmackDown. I just realized Kofi has been in the tag teams for a lot of his WWE career. You could have got Flair, you fuck, says Babaruski. Yeah. I don't really mind it too much. I get it. Hulk Hogan still has that whole controversy. A lot of people are still, yes, DX forgot about that as well. I get it. Not a lot of people probably want to see him on the WWE yet or ever. But
you're going to have that mixed bag, though. It's always going to be mixed with Hogan, I think, with a certain percentage of the fan base.
And I get
some are going to be happy. Some are going to be always hating.
And you have to remember, like, yes, I think we all will recognize Hulk Hogan as one of the greatest of all time. Whether a personal life and what he's done aside, like what he means in the world of wrestling, you can never take that away. With that said, but a lot of your current fans, like, yes, they watch Hogan on YouTube, but the Hogan they know is unfortunately the Hogan of all the personal, the racism, the sex tape at 70 years old that nobody wanted to see or even learn he did, like, those type of things. And look, I think you can't how can you not think of a Mean Gene moment without Hogan, like you guys said? So with that said, yes, I see why they would want it, but you also have to remember, I know I'm being cynical, but don't you think that this is kind of perfect timing to get Hogan back to the crowd? Look at the only time that they brought Hogan back. They brought him in Saudi Arabia, where he was not in a U.S. crowd, where they know he won't get booed. So why not try and say, hey, it's a sad night. We're gonna honor Mean Gene. If we want Hogan to come back and not get shit on, let's try and get him the sympathy cheer. I know.
Come on.
Oh, I know it sounds terrible.
No. I'm just saying it's also about the ratings.
So, what's up?
I mean, I think if you put Hogan or Ric Flair, you would have gotten the same ratings.
I know, but you're going against the college football championship, so you're gonna try to really double down. No pun intended.
Look, I'm not
double down on like Hogan and Brock gonna be there on Raw.
Yeah. Look, I'm not downplaying Hogan and how important he is to the wrestling world, but I don't see him now as a needle mover.
I do, just because of his name.
I don't think there's going to be like that rating push.
Sweet Pod says it's that he gave a half-hearted apology and then criticized the very people that didn't accept it. Okay, that's fair. Hogan will get a standing ovation. No fucking way Hogan gets booed. I don't think he'll get booed. No way. No way in hell.
And I do think that's a good question. I do think Hogan's still a draw.
And of course he's not going to get booed. It's in the setting of a man's death. Why do you think WWE's timing now to bring Hogan back? Look, I'm not saying it's not inappropriate. Hogan makes sense, but I'm just saying also WWE does time things for a reason. Why hasn't Hogan been on before Mean Gene's death? Because they know
they don't know what kind of reaction he's gonna get. Yeah,
so that they're gonna play it safe and pick. And I'm saying it sucks because it's at the expense of a legend passing away, but they're gonna use this death as a way. It's not the first time they've used death to move something forward.
Definitely not.
Adam Bomb says this will be a case of if fans booed, they're pieces of shit, and if they don't, they've forgiven him. Hogan will be emotional time for me, Gene, for sure. No chance he gets booed. Most people talking smack or on Hogan never saw Hogan wrestle. Says Jeffrey Cross. We'll miss.
I don't think that matters.
Let's see. What else? Saw something else. Your fucking way of putting Hogan in front of the American fans is to speak on a loss. Fuck Hulk Hogan. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Jesus Lord. Not many Hogan fans in here. Another WWE news that happened this week you need to talk about. Yes, it's Tony Storm. That's what we're going to touch on next before we get to the Impact.
Oh, boy.
So Hulk Hogan will be on Raw. I'm not sure if, a lot of people are fans of it. But, I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, Hulk Hogan and Gene Okerlund, a lot of the epic moments were with Hogan and Gene. The NWO, the countless interviews he had with him in the WWF.
People have quoted, well, let me tell you something, Mean Gene. I mean, it's iconic.
Yep.
Yeah, Dr. Hughes says folks just want Hogan to publicly suck the apology peanut. Yeah, I mean, how many – I get it. If you're an African American and if you're not going to forgive him, I cannot be the person. I'm not. Who am I to say you should forgive him? I have no. I shouldn't say anything about it if you should forgive him or not. But I don't see any problem with him coming on Raw, giving maybe a heartfelt speech about Gene Okerlund, and then he rides off into the sunset or whatever have you. Whatever you want to do. This doesn't mean that he's coming back on Raw for good, or he's going to be back in the WWE for good. It's just their way of thanking Gene, and I don't think any other better way of putting it is having Hogan, maybe Ric Flair there as well. But what else is WWE supposed to do?
I'm surprised they're not doing this as a network special or something like that.
Well, apparently Seth Rollins said something about WWE having Gene Okerlund. They were working on a project about Gene Okerlund. I mean, bringing Warrior back to WWE was worse than them bringing Hogan back, in my opinion. They were. It's just a case of it being a trap for the fans, pretty much. Yeah, I agree with you. It's going to be interesting to see what happens on Monday night.
I'm definitely intrigued. I'm more intrigued not to see Hogan, but to see how the fans, Twitter is going to react. People will be mad that people cheer Hogan. People will be mad that people boo Hogan. Everyone's going to be mad for the first 30 minutes and forget that it's about Mean Gene's death.
Where's Raw at? Do we know?
Where?
Yeah.
No, not Jacksonville. It's
the indie crowd would get fucked.
If it's in Florida, I can see probably. It's why I think it's in Florida because that's
Yeah, they would probably do good there because he has his whole little.
Yes, don't forget Cena and Brock will all be on Raw as well. So let's get to this Tony Storm news where Tony Storm had some leak. I guess I didn't see any of it, so I'm assuming there were nude photos of her that were going around on Twitter, and it got to the point to where she deleted Twitter.
Oh God, yeah.
Deleted Instagram, and she's off of all social media, I believe, and all because of some leaked photos. Your thoughts
just
on
because
this?
of that?
What else is it?
Because people were tagging her in the photos on Instagram.
That's it's never I think we've seen a couple of the wrestlers have been hacked, celebrities get hacked. It's it's an invasion of privacy. Look, I'm not saying she's whoever's getting leaked is sending out a mass group text of pictures.
And it's clearly a new video as well.
Yeah.
Oh, and no, maybe for all we know, that's someone she's in a relationship with, and they're being intimate in their own way. But regardless, that's privacy. That's a breach of privacy, man. That sucks is alone, and the fact that people are tagging her in her pictures of these pictures that already come up, and then they're gonna go and then they're gonna have the Twitter delete it, and the same people who are tagging them are gonna say bullying sucks. and oh, the women need to be treated well, and they're the same horny fucks who are tagging her. Like,
Yep.
it gives, this is the type of shit that gives wrestling fans bad names. Yes, inherently the majority of the demographic are guys, and how many times on the show do we say Naomi's not for the kids, or god damn, Mandy Rose looks good, or I profess my delusional love to Zelina Vega? Yes, we're guys, I get it. Like, same way the women like talk about like guys like Seth Rollins, Finn Balor. Yes, we're attracted to wrestlers. That's part of what they do, is like the look. But when you're starting to get into like, oh, I need to see the personal photos, I need to see what they do in the bedroom or whatever videos that they
Yeah.
show and like that.
It's crazy.
Like, really? Just go
I
on
mean-
Pornhub. Just go on Pornhub and type in other shit. There's
yeah,
content.
because
No, I'm just saying, like, there's content just for you for that. I get it. Some people take their attraction to the other wrestler to a certain extreme, but and look at what expense. Like, at the end of the day, why do you know about Toni Storm? Because at some point you like wrestling, right? So how can you call yourself a fan if all you can do is break this person's privacy, put her name out there? You guys forget, like, a lot of people forget how young some of these wrestlers are. Like, Toni Storm's younger than probably most of the wrestling fans on Twitter. Like, she's still like a young person herself. Like in the world of bullying and the shit like that we see nowadays, like that could have that could have a huge impact on someone.
And listen, we get, if she had new photos, yeah, probably maybe a silly idea to have them on in this time of age where hackers can get into anything.
Right.
But also, if they're leaked, they're leaked. But there was no need for you to tag her, in the photos.
Charlotte shit got leaked. Like, I'm pretty sure like Maria Kanellis and a couple in the news came out, but I don't remember opening up my Twitter and then all of a sudden I see a news headline saying click on for leaked photos of so and so. It's just, hey, did you hear she got hacked? But with Toni, they were tagging. Even some dirt sheet sites were fucking tagging. It was disgusting.
Yeah, that's the only. I mean, I'm not saying it's all her fault, but it was a little bit of a, probably not a great idea to have that. It's with these type of, in these days, hackers can hack anything.
And obviously, people of like any form of celebrity status, in the sense that they have some publicity. They're not like the average person like you and I, like taking pictures. Like, my pictures are boring as fuck anyways, but like it's not like a wrestler who people idolize, or like
and the tagging too. Like, that's the bad thing. The tagging, that's horrible.
I don't know what was going to come out of that.
And a lot of this, it is what Alex said. It's a lot of these guys, and I guess some girls too, not trying to single out anybody, but they get these idealisms in their head of watching someone and being attracted to them when they're watching them wrestle or whatever. And they get the ideas where they have to see them all do, there's porn photos, I go look them up. I mean, it's ridiculous. And I mean, I feel really bad for her that she had to go. And there's so much support out there for her, and I'm so glad. Yeah, I think Lance Storm.
Everyone, a lot of wrestlers just like, obviously did the whole "we support Toni" hashtag, but like everyone, like heels, faces, like people that work with Toni Storm that know Toni, like it's good that like she had that support like from the community.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but what Lance
Storm, ex-boyfriend, I believe. And there's a guy from Australia claims he wanted to ruin Toni Storm's career.
I mean, so you can't really blame that on people, but I think what Lance Storm said was perfect. You might not be the cause of this, but you also have the right to not look. Yeah. You can be the person who just doesn't look at it and don't do it, because you can have that choice to not do it. But the same thing happened with Paige. Yeah. I mean,
the more
it was worse,
and the more that you tag them, the more that you keep talking about it, then everyone's gonna be like being aware of it. Like,
yeah, but the Paige thing was so crazy because it blew up all over Twitter. I mean,
that was bad.
It was. I mean.
So yeah, support Toni Storm. Not sure when we'll see. I think she's on the NXT UK taping, isn't it? Pay-per-view.
Oh, she'll be wrestling, but I think from social media standpoint, I think she's off.
She's going to be taking a break for quite some time.
I don't blame her. Look at how
Yeah.
social media could be terrible, guys.
Yeah, Twitter can be.
I mean-
Everybody knows Twitter can be a dark, evil place, and
And not just that. I mean, Paige probably went through the same thing like this too. But what I'm saying, going to work again. I mean, how? I mean, that must be just unbearable to realize that if they, I'm not saying all their coworkers have seen it, but
They
there's
know.
a good chance a lot of them might. And it's terrible. Even if they haven't seen it, it's like you gotta go to see these people, and it's just.
And I think even Paige like tweeted about that, saying like, "I just went through this, so I know what you're going through." Like, you know, so yeah. I mean, it sucks. It
I
shows.
mean, luckily for not saying this is luckily for Paige, but I mean, at least I don't know. This is gonna sound really bad, but at least Paige wasn't still active wrestler at the time. That might have been a little bit easier to deal with
Right,
because you have to go to work every day.
and then she stayed off for a little bit. So like, but yeah, Tony's an active wrestler. Obviously, oh god, I don't even know what to say once what Twitter is going to be like once we see her on TV again.
yeah, let's wish her the best of luck, and we'll be seeing her wrestle next weekend. Now let's jump into Impact Homecoming because we've been going for we've been going for 2 hours now. I appreciate everybody who's been sticking around for the whole show. We do appreciate everybody's involvement,
Shit, we're going longer than
interaction,
that.
and
It's
hearts.
1 a.m. over here.
So yeah, 2 hours and 17 minutes to be exact. So we do appreciate everybody for joining us tonight. Don't record and photograph yourself, fucking kids. There's no scenario where it ends well. Yes, I agree with you on that because there's just too many hackers nowadays. It's crazy what people can hack
Yep.
in the world.
A lot
So-
of times it's exes though. Because look at Brad Maddox.
That's it. Apparently, that's who it was. It was an ex, and who leaked out these photos of her. So tough times for her, and hopefully she can pull through these and have a great match next weekend. So Impact Homecoming is tomorrow night. Not sure how many Impact fans we have here. Still
I have one
currently.
at least.
Yes, DX has been waiting for this. I know he has. We have 8 matches on the card tomorrow night, and maybe 4 of them I'm really interested in. We have Johnny Impact taking on Brian Cage for the world title, Tessa Blanchard, Taya Valkyrie for the women's championship, Ethan Page, Jake Christ, Rich Swann, Chris, god damn it, Jake Christ, Rich Swann, and Trey Miguel for the Ultimate X championship. LAX taking on the Lucha Brothers for the Tag Team Impact World Championship. Abyss versus Eli Drake. Eddie Edwards versus Moose in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Oh, and Abyss and Eli Drake matches a Monster Balls match. Willie Mack taking on Sammy. Yeah, did I? Oh, my my bad. Monsters Ball match. I didn't mean Monster Balls match. Excuse me about that.
God.
Willie Mack versus Sammy Callahan. And Jordan Grace and Kiera Hogan taking on Ali and Sue Young tomorrow night. Exactly. Even if you're a current better half, they can have always come. Yep, exactly. Charlotte got leaked as well. Yes, this is going to be a fantastic pay-per-view, says T-Sweet Podcast. One match that you're looking forward to the most is, Alex?
I think I'm gonna have to go with probably no LAX versus Lucha Bros. Most likely is my most exciting match.
What about you, Alex? Excuse me, Dave.
I gotta concur. That's a match I'm really looking forward to. This is a dream match.
Yeah, I always call
They
him
need to-
Christ. I don't know why I always do that.
And then you say Christ, and then you say GD, so it's like that's a little weird. But
All right, so let's go with Jordan Grace and
That's
Hogan.
right. And that's kind of weird, right? Like you would think a card with
Too sweet.
an Ultimate X match, that should be the most exciting, but
they
I'm not.
don't got the guys in it who should be in it. And no offense to the guys in it. To me, it's obvious Swan's winning.
Yeah,
but
but
I mean,
I'm coming from Chris Sabin versus AJ Styles versus
yes.
Pete, and like Ultimate X matches like that with Christopher Daniels and what was his partner? Back
Shelley?
in like no, Elix Skipper, like all those Ultimate X,
Yeah.
and then this, I'm just like meh.
I would much rather all 3 radicals be in this.
Yeah, why not?
Did I say it right?
Butcher guys' names you don't know. I always butchered the Chris's names all the time. Every time we talk about them, I always say Christ. We have Jordan Grace, Kiera Hogan, Ali, and Su Young in tag team action. Dave, any thoughts on this? Are you looking forward to it?
Not really, because to me, this is just like one of those matches they just throw in there just to have another women's match on the card. Wouldn't be surprised. I don't know how far Rosemary is away from coming back. I would not be surprised if we did possibly see her at the show if she's healthy enough to come back. Because now it would kind of be like those three almost become together. I could see that too, but I think Jordan Grace and Kara probably win unless there's some kind of shenanigans that someone shows up like a Rosemary and cost them the match. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I don't really care about this either, but it is what it is. I did see Impact, and I thought it was pretty good. But yeah.
Adam Baum said, I wouldn't be too certain, Dave. Trey Miguel is amazing, and this will be the breakout performance for Jake Chris.
Jake Chris. Why do you say Trey Miguel's breakout performance?
No, he said Trey Miguel is amazing. This will be a breakout performance for Jake.
Nothing against him, but I just think if you had all three of those guys in this match would be unbelievable.
I agree. I mean, I can't disagree with you on that. Adam Ball said she's returning either tomorrow or Monday.
So I would not be surprised if we see her pop in this match and possibly join Su Young and Ali.
Or maybe costing Ali and Su Young the match. Who knows? It could go either way with the Rosemary returning possibly tomorrow night. What about you, Alex? Any interest in this match other than Jordan Grace being involved?
No, not really. I mean, like I said, I haven't been watching every Impact episode, but obviously I follow Jordan Grace, and I'm a fan of hers for sure.
Probably not NoFX,
but no, in terms of the match itself, I don't really care.
Yep, I don't watch Impact, Red Sox fan. You're absolutely right. What is Impact Wrestling? Is that even a show? We have Willie Mack versus Sami Callihan. I thought Sami Callihan would have maybe a bigger match on this show, but Willie Mack, I can't complain. It should be a good match. Dave, any thoughts on this one, and who do you have winning this match?
This match is another one of those, I think. It's another one of those just thrown together matches just to put them on the card. I mean, yeah, I'm glad for the guys to get a match on the card, but it's just one of those matches where it's kind of odd. Yes, I get from Impact because they put them through a table and all that, so that's their little story, I guess. And then there's another story with Sammy and Swan now. So that whole story with those two, they got history together, I guess, or something. I don't know what they're doing there, but yeah, I mean, so it's just a match I think Sammy probably wins.
Mac just wrestled tonight, did he? Oh, okay. How'd he do, Baba Ruski? Let's see what else.
Alex, do you think Sammy wins?
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you, Dave. I think based on what I've seen, it just seems like they just put it together just for the sake of doing it. I like Willie Mack. I think Sami Callihan's really, done. He's really come into his own. I really enjoy his heel work. Yeah. Sammy.
Here's one more question before we move on. Who's Johnny Impact feuding with currently? Brian Cage at the moment. Yes, I heard about Matt Sydal having a knee injury. Now, here's my question for you. Has Sami Callihan lost the steam that he had in 2018?
Yeah.
Well, it's only like 2 days into 2019.
Well, I mean, he kind of lost his steam kind of midway near the end of 2018. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah,
he wasn't the draw as much as he was the draw after the baseball incident, right?
Well, I guess after Pentagon and stuff, I think it kind of went down a little bit.
I think he cooled down a lot after Pentagon.
Oh, he beat Matt Cross to retain his NWA title. I'm surprised he doesn't. I guess they don't have a working relationship, obviously, to have him, wear the NWA championship.
Which NWA championship? I thought Magnus was the NWA champion.
NW National Championship. There you go.
How many NWAs are there?
Millions, millions.
I'm so confused. I thought Corbin owned it.
Next, we have anybody else thinks Red Sox has Tony Storm-like photos of Tony, and that's why Tony puts up with his shit. That's funny. That was hilarious. We have Eddie Edwards and Moose in the never-ending feud, and a falls count anywhere match. Okay. Your thoughts on this, Dave, and who do you have coming out the winner?
I hope Eddie Edwards, but I was kind of glad. Oh, this ain't it. Never mind. I'll talk about the next. Okay, never mind. This ain't the match I was thinking. Okay, yeah. Hopefully Eddie. I guess. Hopefully Eddie. I don't know. I'm so ready for. Who knows? This might be the spot you guys been calling for a long time, where Eddie's wife helps Moose win, and she joins him to continue this ongoing saga.
What about you? I'm just tired. I'm just ready for Eddie Edwards just to move on from this whole. Now we got Raven and fucking Tommy Dreamer showing up.
No, it's not. This isn't that part. That was the.
I know. I'm
That
just
was the
saying, like,
Monsters Ball.
what the fuck's going on? Now we have Eddie. What about you, Alex? What's your thoughts on this?
Same thing I said when we talked about this the last time together. I do not care about this feud. This is definitely an honorable mention for worst feud of 2018.
Yeah, I agree.
What the? I don't get Moose, but I don't know. But yeah, no.
Adam Bomb says Eddie Edwards with the help of Davey Richards.
Sure,
Oh, dude, please. Davey is too busy saving lives.
sure.
You don't give a shit, man. You can see the excitement in Alex's voice about this match.
I don't care about these two.
They've been feuding for a long time. It seems
like a whole year. It seems like.
And like no payoff, no sex tape with Alicia. Alicia doesn't have a baby or some shit.
Oh my god! Imagine that.
If you're gonna make me watch this feud, at least go all the way.
Have Eddie and Moose go on Maury Povich.
If they go that route, dude, this is totally being written by Tommy Dreamer.
Moose's sister, like Deer, who knows? Like whatever. I don't care.
Oh my god! Red Sox fan says Davey is returning to wrestling. You guys forgot that. Okay, my bad. Okay. But yeah, imagine if they did go that route. That all of a sudden she's pregnant and Eddie Edwards and Moose are on a segment on Maury Povich. Oh my god, that'd be.
And then that will be the end of Impact. It will be because of Eddie Edwards. You're welcome.
Oh, that's funny. All right, so we have Abyss and Eli Drake in a Monsters Ball match. Dave, your thoughts on this? Are you excited for seeing this Monsters Ball match? And who do you have winning?
Actually, no, I'm not excited for the match because the most interesting thing to me as an ECW fan was on Impact this past week when they had Tommy Dreamer and Raven sitting in the ring together. That was cool for me. I'm sorry, I loved seeing that. I thought they were going to fight, actually, but I mean, see them both take out Eli Drake. That was kind of nice, but I could give two craps about Abyss and Drake.
Yeah. Bobby Risky makes a good point. Imagine if WWE actually did sign Moose, how different he could have been. Yeah, I think he could
be Bobby Lashley right now.
Oh no!
yes.
No. Oh my gosh! What about you, Alex? Any interest in this match whatsoever?
Moose Lee.
I mean, I always liked the Monsters Ball match, at least what it used to be, like what it originally was. And I mean, Abyss that's his match to go to. But I know I'm just sounding negative on Impact. There are parts I like of Impact, but I don't care for Eli Drake either. Abyss, I'll always appreciate because of what he's done for Impact and what I'm like growing when I first started watching TNA, like how big he was in the storyline. Like I said, him versus AJ in that steel cage match is still one of my favorite matches. But in this, no, like where are they going with this? Or like what's coming out of this?
Abyss will just put his own self through tax as usual. Moose reminds me of Titus O'Neil.
Just have Abyss come out and jump on some tax, and that's the match. I'll be happy. You don't need Eli.
I wouldn't be surprised if we've seen a bunch of people coming out during this match and costing Drake the match. Like Dreamer and Raven again, probably, because they're getting involved in this somehow because they're trying to kill hardcore wrestling. And that would not surprise me if this turns into one of those, a bunch of people beat up Drake.
Abyss has done a lot for Impact. He's a lifer, and he's done a lot, and I'm surprised he never left. So more props. Eli just needs that win. He's lost so much. Yes. Eli Drake used to be one of the top heels in Impact, and now he's just
he was never a top heel.
Hey, calm down there, Dave. He was a top heel. on Impact. Now he's just really toilet paper on Impact. Drake wins with the assistance from Sandman, Balls Mahoney, and Big Dick Dudley.
I think Balls Mahoney's dead. So is Big Dick.
You guys love watching pancakes getting. Oh, Red Sox fan, you never end. This is going to be done to help rebuild Drake. I hope so, because honestly, this being their homecoming back to Tennessee, do you feel like this is a little bit of an underwhelming pay-per-view card?
Yeah, there's not really a lot of build toward this, which is hard to do because your two main your title matches have done good, but the other matches not so much because all these breaks you've been on the last 2 weeks, it's been the best of Impact. So you really have no really room to build a lot of good storylines into the matches, other than the Lucha Brothers and LAX, and maybe Cage and Impact. I mean, really, you haven't really done a good job of building this show up. It's just like a bunch of matches thrown together. Ooh, let's give you a Falls Count Anywhere match, a Monsters Ball match. I mean, that's really what it is. Ultimate X. I mean, they're giving you all these stipulation matches to make it sound exciting. When really their biggest X Division star is now going for the world title now, so they aren't really using the X Division to its proper thing that they should be doing. Yeah, you got Swan, who is probably likely to win the whole damn thing.
What were you going to say, Alex?
No, I mean, I think given how they're trying to
thanks, Bob. Thank you, Mikey Mike.
They're trying to build up on the nostalgia of the homecoming feel. Yeah, for what they're trying to build it to be, the card isn't the most promising. It's not the most build wise. It's not really all there. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, there's a match here or there that I'm definitely looking forward to. I'm definitely all for the LAX and Lucha Brothers match. But yeah, overall, it's no offense when Johnny Impact's in your main event still. That tells me something.
Yeah. What's the over under that Brock gives Hogan an F5? Probably
I still would not be surprised if we do see some surprises on the show.
We might see some old guys show up. Mike Tenay. Maybe Mike Tenay. Don West.
He's in Vegas.
Steiner.
Steiner doing some Steiner math.
I was just joking. Please no.
Weren't you guys complaining about Cage holding the X Division champ? I was one of the guys that. But then he started doing some pretty good things on Impact with the X Division.
Yeah, I wasn't happy with Cage at first as X Division champion because it seemed like he was too big. But man, he really started putting on some classic matches. I mean, him and Phoenix. It's still one of my favorite matches from 2018.
Speaking of Phoenix, we have LAX taking on the Lucha Brothers for the tag team titles. Dave, what do you think? Who will come out the victors?
I really love the promo LAX cut on Impact this week. It was an awesome one. But I gotta think the Lucha Brothers won this. Or Lucha Bros won this. I think Lucha Brothers is something else.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, Lucha Brothers are the one with the pinata. That's right. I'm sorry. Lucha Bros. Alex, what about you?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this match. I think it's going to be a lot exciting. I mean, both tag teams are probably some of the best in the world today. So I actually agree with Dave. I think the Lucha Brothers take it. How crazy would it be if LAX went to AEW? By the way,
hey, I wouldn't.
How about Pentagon and Phoenix?
I wouldn't be against that whatsoever.
You mean what if AEW just takes Impact's tag division?
Well, there isn't really much to take, is there?
No, I guess they'd have to.
Follow Bob and KM. They're gonna have to make.
Oh God!
They would have to reform Eli Drake and Steiner.
Oh yeah. Which leads to me to another point. You guys didn't buy me hyping it up. We'll see what happens this Sunday night. Conan Betrayal, says Bobarooski.
That's okay.
So trust me when I say this show will be amazing. Okay, Adam Bomb, if it's not amazing, you better show up tomorrow night so I can say it wasn't amazing to your face. I think LAX lose. It seems like Lucha Bros, I want to call them brothers. It's their time, but hey, I wouldn't be surprised if they kept the titles on LAX.
I would be.
But we'll see what happens tomorrow night. I definitely think this will probably most likely be the match of the night.
Because who would you rather keep? No, I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but let's just say if you have a chance to give them titles and actually keep them, wouldn't you want to keep Phoenix and Pentagon over LAX?
Yeah, more than likely because you can have, Phoenix and Pentagon are known singles wrestlers as well. So I can see that. AEW has Callis, so don't be surprised if they do end up working together.
I haven't heard anything them having anybody, so I don't know where you get your information. Texas kid over there or something?
No, Adam Baum knows his stuff about Impact, so I'd give him that. I'll be here, just can't call in. My phone is acting up. All good, my friend. So we have Ultimate X tomorrow night as well. It's the vacant championship. Rich Swann, Trey Miguel, Jake Christ, not Christ, and Ethan Page are in this match. I'm sure everybody's not so fond of Ethan Page being involved, but he's the outcast, and a lot of people think maybe he'll win this match. Is it the full Ultimate X division where the ropes are above the ring, or is this a regular match?
It's Ultimate X.
So
that's the name of the match.
So the
ring ropes will be crossed.
Okay. Well, hopefully Ethan Page can climb and get his way to the X or to the title. I'm curious
to see how this looked in this version of it, because there have been so many different versions of this match. Where there's been just cables you got to climb on.
I saw that, Bob Ruski.
Beams you can climb up.
Yeah, and I mean, I think one of the obvious spots coming is Jake Christ is going to hit an RKO.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, off the hanging off the Ultimate X.
Yeah, that's bound to happen. So, Dave, who do you have coming out as the winner? I know you said Rich Swann earlier, but do you still agree with that?
Yeah, it seems like that would be the likely choice. Because definitely if they're going to set up something, which it seems like they are, with him and Sammy, or if they want to make that separate. I don't know, but, I mean, the mini draw might have a shot, so who knows. But, I mean, if not, to me, I don't think it's nothing against Ethan Page, but I don't think he's going to win it. And I don't think it'd be Trey Miguel this soon. I think you go with your most notable name. Your biggest name out there is Rich Swann. To me, that'd be the most obvious choice. You take your biggest star, make him next champion. Kind of like he was cruiserweight champion in another company, so it would kind of fit.
Yeah, and Red Sox fan, I do know what an Ultimate X match is, but they've had Ultimate X matches before without the gimmick, so that's why they haven't. I thought they have.
Those are just X division matches, but the Ultimate X is with the X. When you put the title.
Okay, my apologies on that. I didn't get the whole description on that. My apologies. Swann will win. Going to be a fast-paced match. Trey Miguel and Jay Christ, Jesus, will be amazing. Alex, your thoughts? Who do you have walking out as a champ? Dave has Rich Swann. Do you agree? A lot of people in the chat as well have Rich Swann.
Yeah, I think this is Swann's time. I haven't taken it.
And now you also, Dave mentioned about Sami Callihan kind of feuding with Rich Swann. So this could possibly get Sami Callihan into a title pictures feud with maybe possibly Rich Swann down the line. I could see that possibly happening. So, yeah, I would have to go with Rich Swann as well, walking out as a champion. But I would rather have Trey Miguel walk out the champion. But it is kind of young, too early to tell with him. So Rich Swann makes the most sense here. So let's go to the co-main event. I'm not sure what match will be on the card on this one, but Tessa Blanchard, Taya Valkyrie. The feud's been pretty good. Got an extra little tidbit with Gail Kim being involved as a special guest referee. Not really too fond of that because you can obviously tell this is setting up to something else down the line with possibly Gail Kim and Tessa Blanchard. But your thoughts on this match, Dave, and who do you have walking out as a champ?
I'm really hoping it's Tessa because I don't want to see the Impacts walk away tomorrow night and have all the gold. To me, I would much rather, even if it sets up Gail Kim and Tessa Blanchard down the line, I would love to see that. I think that'd be a fun match. But, I mean, yeah, I don't mind. I like Gail Kim, unlike a lot of other people, but I actually enjoy Gail Kim and her matches.
I don't mind Gail Kim, but I think she's so salty towards WWE, and she won't let it go. And it just seems like she always has something to say when she really doesn't have to say it. But if she wants to come back, and that is a good that could be a really good match between the two ladies, Gail Kim and Tessa Blanchard. I cannot deny that. But it's, to me, kind of overshadowing this match with Taya because everybody's going to be. I get that, but everybody's going to wonder, when's Gail Kim gonna get involved in this match?
Or
When's
what
she
if they
gonna?
go another route, which no one's really talking about? What if they have Gail Kim screw over Taya
That's
and be aligned with Tessa Blanchard?
that'd be interesting. I just don't see it happening.
I mean,
What about you,
It's wrestling.
Alex? Yeah, that is true. And Red Sox fan, I get it. I didn't watch Impact as much as I do now. Back when they actually had, I don't think I watched Impact when they had Ultimate X matches. To be quite honest with you, I'm not a big fan of this Taya thinking she's a part of lucha culture because she works. Yeah, I agree with you, Bobaruski. She takes it a little bit to the
she's
extreme with
lucha
that.
royalty.
She's lucha royalty. Viva la raza. What about you, Alex? What do you got?
I have to say between that, I think Tessa takes it.
Red Sox fan says Tessa versus Kale bound for glory. Now I could see that absolutely.
I hope
They
sooner
make-
than that.
When is bound for glory? In October, right?
October. Let's say
Jesus
Slammiversary.
Christ,
Then.
that's a long ass.
That's a long
Did you
reign.
mean Tony? Did you mean Jesus Christ or Jake Christ?
Did I say Christ again? Golly, man, I'm gonna have to.
Go to church today. I don't know.
I never watched Impact back in the old days. No, when they had Ultimate X matches like that. I admit I've seen them, but I didn't watch it back in the day. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie about it. That's why I thought I've seen Ultimate X matches without the Ultimate
AJ
without the ropes.
Williams and Chris Sabin. That was freaking awesome.
Just gonna say this: don't be surprised if there's a female debut during this match. Okay, all right. They had a great match at Bound for Glory. This one should be good as well. His name isn't Jesus. I got it. It's Christ. Christ.
Chris, guys, he gets
One day I'll get it. Hopefully. So we're going to the main event. Got Johnny Impact, the champ, taking on Brian Cage, who's cashing in his X Division
Option
title. Yes, the option C, and putting it on the line against Johnny Impact. This match should be good. I would have to go with Brian Cage walking out as the champ. Dave, do you agree?
I do agree. I think Cage. This should be his title all along. We've been saying it. This should be his title right here. So Cage. And this would be interesting if Impact does win and someone shows up at the end, kind of like they do in Japan, which it would not surprise me at all if they show up at this event.
Okay, what about you, Alex? Are you excited for this match at all?
I'm excited for Brian Cage to finally get a title. I just don't care for Johnny Impact. I'd be surprised if he wins unless we find out that he got some B- movie deal and Impact really needs the publicity. But outside of that, no, I think this is Cage's title to take.
It makes sense for him to be the man of the company, right?
Brian Cage?
Yes.
Oh yeah. I would put the main event push behind him.
Does Cross get involved? That's another big question.
That is a good question.
And then they just immediately go to the next challenger, and that's Cross versus Cage.
Damn, imagine that. Alex don't care for Impact, says Red Sox fan. Oh, look who's here, Mr. Bliss. Welcome to the show, my friend.
No, I like it. It's just
Nothing's intriguing right now for you. You can just
It's not like the old days for sure. I mean, because really, let's be honest, we had Sting versus Kurt Angle, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe. I mean, it's not that.
Also, I've never liked John.
Bob Bursky says whispers Austin Aries returns. Oh my god.
No,
that's what I was thinking. That could happen too.
I've never liked Johnny Mundo, Impact Wrestling, whatever.
All right, fair point. Wow, we went very long tonight. We went a total almost 3 hours, everybody. Holy shit. Who is streaming Homecoming on Periscope tomorrow night? I don't think anybody streams Impact Wrestling pay-per-views, but we will be live right after Impact is over tomorrow night. This match will be either a draw or it'll be Cage winning, says Adam Bomb. Okay, that a draw. That's no,
Don't do
no,
it on a pay-per-view.
no, just your three. No, you're just three WWE guys forcing yourselves to watch other companies. No.
I'm not forcing myself.
Why
to do
can't
anything.
Why
I
can't we
actually
just
Impact
love wrestling, Red Sox fan? For the love of God, Jesus Christ. All right.
You should see the group chat we do. I'm sitting there arguing with these two guys about I want AEW to destroy Impact. Saying I don't like Impact.
Yeah, you didn't have to yell at me a lot, Adam Bomb. I did miss your down Don Callis comments a couple of times, and I apologize. Are we going to talk about how amazing Scarlett Bordeaux looked on Impact? Oh, yeah. This is a PG show, most part. PG-13, maybe. Let's not get into Scarlett Bordeaux, where she just looked fantastic. She just not much more to say. Yeah. Michael Johnson says tomorrow night, mark my words, during the main event, Ring Warriors Invasion.
Oh my god.
Is that the Mike Johnson from like PW Insider?
No. And that's including with Austin Aries being the leader of the oh my god, the group chat have to fucking see this. Hey, Bob Ruski, if you want to be added to the group chat, you're more than welcome to. We go at it a couple of times.
Oh yeah, always some bickering of some sort. Something on the news or something that happened on Raw.
Let's see. 3 hours. These replays starting to turn into WWE pay-per-views.
Pause now.
Hey, I didn't expect this to go this long. We talked about New Japan for about an hour and a half.
2 hours, I think.
So,
all New Japan.
And then we get Kenny Omega stuff, and we went through everything like that. So it was a different type of show tonight.
We did a New Japan length pay show. That's all.
It was a very lengthy show.
And over on the East Coast, well, it's about 1:30 in the morning. So welcome to your
that's what
show.
I really appreciate, seriously, from the bottom of my heart, everybody who. I mean, we've had 20 to 30 viewers the whole show. Being this long, I didn't expect it, and my apologies for some topics we did stick on for a long time, but a lot of you guys were interacting with us, commenting, so I just didn't want to jump to another conversation or another topic. So we do appreciate it. We do try to talk about more wrestling stuff on the show other than WWE, because I know sometimes people are tired of hearing about it.
We barely talked
We barely talked about WWE tonight. We mentioned it. Maybe we had one newsworthy topic from WWE 2, actually, with the Hulk Hogan news. And other than that, we just talked about pretty much Impact and New Japan and All Elite Wrestling. So it's going to be an interesting night. Tomorrow night, we'll be live touching on Impact. If anybody cares, I don't know. I mean, not sure of how Impact is nowadays. I just read Hogan is supposed to be on Raw. Yep, he will be on Raw Monday night. What else? Anything else in the chat? Let me do a quick little shout out to everybody who stayed around. I know Speeds just popped out just earlier, so thanks for him. Truth and Loyalty, Kevin, Adam Downs, Jeffrey Cross, Red Sox fan, Bliss, Two Sweet Podcasts, Will Miller, Alice, Adam, Awesome, Peck and Rob, Bob Aruski, Scorpion. We got Richie, Michael Johnson. There's 8 other viewers I cannot see, so I think Jody Mania is one of them. If I did not say your name in the chat, please, so I can say hello to you guys. Gregory, who popped in with the Super Hearts as well. Thank you for that. Jeffrey Cross as well. It's been an awesome show. We had Alex come back. Not sure when he'll be back again because of his busy ass schedule, but hopefully he'll be back maybe by Royal Rumble possibly.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and definitely be on the NXT because next Saturday's Takeover, right?
What time is that? Is that 3
UK Takeover?
Oh, is it like a 3 o'clock thing?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked it up. That's a good question.
It's like 5 hours. We're 5 hours behind them, aren't we? In the UK.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good question. I would have to say, yeah, maybe
because I think it's like a 5 hour time difference. So we get it like at 3 o'clock if it's 8 o'clock there.
Yes, I agree with you on that. It would be an odd pay-per-view time, but we would be covering it on our Shoot the Shit Saturday night. It's on Saturday, correct? Right?
I think so.
If I can watch it, I'm down to do the show. I'm excited for that show.
DX says, do you think the 6 call-ups will show up on Raw or SmackDown this week?
Probably not.
I mean, it's so close to WrestleMania. Why give it away now?
That's good. Good.
I mean, not WrestleMania. I mean, Royal Rumble.
Adam Bomb says yes. It's at 3:00. So there you go. It's at 3:00 on Saturday. Yeah, it's an early start time because it's in the UK. So we'll be touching at that on that show on Saturday evening. Yes, old news. What Red Sox fans are already going to say, but we'll touch on it after on our Shoot the Shit Saturday night show. It's in is UK next and American NXT on the same day? No, it's the UK one's next week, and then I think in 2 weeks after that is Royal Rumble and the NXT.
Holy shit! Talk about January. They talk about WrestleMania being a big month. You know, April. Holy shit, January. What the hell? All this wrestling in January.
Wrestle Kingdom and then end with the Rumble.
Homecoming.
I would say yes, cringe. We have a bunch of New Japan heads in here. They would all say yes, start watching New Japan without a doubt. So yeah.
That's a good question, Tony. How was your experience with watching New Japan?
I enjoyed it for the most part. I didn't have any complaints. Like I said, the only complaint was the Rhodes and Juice match. And I had a good overall experience with Wrestle Kingdom. I'll do it again next year. 2 days this time will be interesting to see how that goes. But yeah, I'll be there next year. I'm planning on watching Dominion. So yeah, it's going to be fun to try to keep up with New Japan, Impact, AEW, WWE, fucking whatever else comes out in the next couple of years. It's going to be fun. So yeah, I fell asleep. You're absolutely right. Even though I live tweeted during the whole fucking show, Red Sox fan, I think you were the one who was asleep because I didn't hear much of you talking about it on Twitter. You fucking asshole. But yeah, we'll be live tomorrow night. We had over 4,000 viewers. And that that's just gonna make him say, Alex is the fucking draw. I already know it. I'm just waiting for it.
Already known.
Have you watched ROH? I have not watched it recently. No, it's on right. I think it was on an hour ago over here in San Antonio. But no, I haven't watched it yet. I have it recorded on my
it'll
DVR.
Be out here in like 3 hours. Like 4 in the morning, it comes out over here.
Yes, Hogan will be on Raw for a tribute to Gene Okerlund. So check it out. I know a lot of people are not too happy with Hogan at the moment, but at least check it out for Gene Okerlund for the tribute and give your respects to Gene Okerlund, who passed away this week. Again,
or watch it for John Cena and Brock.
Yeah, everybody. John Cena will be back if you can see him, and Brock Lesnar as well will be on the show along with Braun Strowman. So they're bringing
Lashley. Will Lashley be there?
Lashley, yeah, of course Lashley will be there, and they're going to be bringing it Monday night for sure, everybody, because they're up against the national championship game.
And more importantly, they're up against the Spurs and Pistons.
Did I say San Antonio? I think I said San Antonio. I'm pretty sure I said San Antonio. So we'll be live tomorrow night after Impact Homecoming. I believe it's a 3-hour show like usual. So at about 11 Eastern, we'll pop on right after Impact is over. So we do hope everybody who joined us tonight will hop over tomorrow night and join us, or I should say later on today, and watch us recap Impact. Also, I'll be doing another card opening probably sometime next week. I just ordered me some more cards as well. And I'll be doing another giveaway next couple of weeks, maybe something to deal with the Royal Rumble. So that'll be fun. Dun, dun, dun. So thank you again so very much. Did you hear the SmackDown's announced women's match? Yes, there's a triple threat this week on SmackDown to go to see who goes on to face Asuka at Royal Rumble. It was Carmella versus Charlotte versus Becky Lynch. Any early predictions on that, Alex?
I'm gonna go with Charlotte.
I'm gonna go with Carmella. I'm gonna go Carmella.
I hope so. I hope it's Carmella. I really do. But honestly, we're saying, it's a new era. So it's going to be Becky Lynch. Just like Dean Ambrose is going to face Seth Rollins.
Well, apparently Rollins has announced himself in the Rumble. So I don't know if he'll have actually a match.
Yeah, he will. He'll still have a match, probably. Because Seth freaking Rollins, he can do it.
WWE writes like breaking news: Seth Rollins has announced himself in the Rumble.
Yeah, I got a fucking notification on my phone from WWE because Finn Balor announced himself in the Royal Rumble. Like, really, WWE had to send me a notification that shit.
Like the way you're telling me Seth was unsure he was going to be in the Rumble. He just did a house show, and then he realized, oh, I think now's the time. I think I'm ready.
And
Like,
then
guys.
WWE sends you a notification. Finn Balor announces himself in the Royal Rumble. Like,
Yes.
remember when that shit didn't even fucking matter?
Damn it.
You're assuming Finn Balor's in the Royal Rumble. I didn't think he had to announce himself to be in it.
I wanted to be surprised. God.
Motherfuckers, dude.
They're gonna announce
All right.
everyone in the Rumble. What's to be the point of the Rumble? Just make it a battle royal.
So we're getting the same matches all over again? More than likely. More than likely. They didn't say that. They didn't look. They said there was going to be a change. They didn't say when there was going to be a change. So
It wasn't on SmackDown this past week.
we got to
Because
ride
it's-
the ship, everybody. They want you to know that you jinxed him, Finn Balor.
I mean,
Oh,
third
Lord.
straight time we're seeing Styles and
No Rumble's going to hit. Tony says Finn's going to win the Rumble, and he's going to be the first one eliminated. We're all going to call him out for it.
What if Demon Balor's in the Rumble? I don't think.
Can he come in as both? Or did he
Oscar
come
versus
eliminated
Lynch,
as Finn?
Brock versus
Oh,
Braun.
you mean, what if you make Foley?
Yeah,
Just
they're both Foley.
comes
He's
out
coming in as Fergo Devitt.
as Balor Forever, then Balor Club, and then he
Then
comes
Fergo.
Devitt, then Fergal, and then finally the Demon.
Does R-Truth trade number 30 because he's a dum-dum? Or does he show up in the women's Royal Rumble
Why would not
instead of the
be-
men's? Oh, God. Tony always giving WWE chances. Hey, I'm not saying that I'm happy that we're not getting any change or we're going to see the same matches at Royal Rumble, but it's Royal Rumble for God's sakes. I mean, nostalgia, just the Royal Rumble itself.
The Rumble is just all, no matter what we know, expecting going on the Rumble, the countdown. It's still
Hey, it'll be the second ever women's.
nostalgia.
What if Finn Balor? Yeah, that would be that. That was fun that you mentioned that. Mick did it. Yeah, Mick did it. So Balor doing it is a possibility. Oh my God, that is funny, man. Y'all are great. Again, thank you for the interaction on the chat room tonight. Thank you for all the hearts, the super hearts. If you're new to the show, I hope you hit the follow button. If you haven't already, we'd really appreciate you going to the YouTube channel that is right here. And just go follow us there. We're trying to get to 150 subscribers by WrestleMania. I know that's not a huge number for a lot of people, but that would be a huge mark for us. And we would like to get to 2,000 followers here on Periscope. So if you haven't already, please share the product, retweet it if you haven't. Tell your friends about us. Tell them that we have a bunch of shit talking going on in the chat room to the host pretty much all night. So hope you guys will join us tomorrow night. It was a fun show tonight. Breaking news, Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose has been announced to be in the Rumble. Yeah, breaking news, everybody. Stop what you're doing.
you start the show with this? God.
Also, Tony, remember my WrestleMania Women's Championship prediction. Can't wait to hear people troll the clock. Oh, God. Amazing show tonight. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Amazing chat room tonight. Y'all guys were awesome. Who won that YouTube giveaway? We had Peck and Ron won. Jeffrey Cross won. And Truth and Loyalty. They won the the $50 gift cards. And then Peck and Rod won the little wrestling WWE game. So we appreciate everybody being involved. We'll be doing another giveaway for the Royal Rumble. It's going to be a little bit trickier. So hope everybody can join us. And I'll be doing another card opening for you guys who are interested sometime this week. So did you see what the card I pulled, Alex? Because I think WWE is pulling a fast one on me. We got an Undertaker relic card. And not only was that, the relic card had a WrestleMania 28 ring mat. And we all know what WrestleMania 28 was. Fucking dicks.
John Cena and The Rock.
No, it was like the end of an. You're talking about 28, right? Not 25 or 26. So it was.
28.
I remember it was the end of an end of errors.
Yes,
Wasn't that Rock and Cena too?
End of errors. And then there was the satellite versus.
And then the other mat is WrestleMania 30, where he first lost.
And now you're stuck with Brock. So keep clapping him.
Thank you for giving Cringe our YouTube there. Appreciate that. Just in case you guys didn't see the card, Here's the card right here. It's the Relic Undertaker. I plan on opening some more this week. Hopefully Amazon will send those in. And hopefully Jeffrey Cross and all you guys get your stuff by the end of the week. Fingers crossed. Again, thank you guys so much for y'all's support. Like I said, we wouldn't be here without you guys. Even the shit talking, the joking around, it's all fun and games. It's a very fun show as always. Appreciate you guys' support. We're gonna end the night with Gene Okerlund on the show. Are giving our condolences to him. Thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome, and we will see you Sunday night. Does it have Undertaker's tears? That's funny. See you guys. See you guys on tomorrow night, everybody. Thanks, everybody.